This is Sean.
This is Kevin.
And this is The One Other Thing, episode 24, my friend.
Ooh, getting there.
Yeah, getting there. I don't know exactly where there is, but we are certainly getting there.
We're getting somewhere.
We seem to be making excellent time.
Yes. Yes.
Well, once again, last episode was the Buggles episode, and
yes.
Here we are, folks. This is it. We're on video again, and
yes.
So we're going to just be doing this from now on. And, Kevin and I, well, again, our relationship's gotten weird, folks. This show is the best of things for us, but we don't talk much without it. Yep. And, coming into this, though, we do talk a little bit. It takes a little while to set this stuff up.
Yes.
And one of the things you talked about was just the enhanced CD, and you want to kind of take everybody through that, because I thought that was a great analogy.
Yeah, because I don't remember when the enhanced CD came out. I think the first enhanced CD I ever got was Iron Maiden, Seventh Son of the Seventh Son.
That's so funny.
Is it?
One of my musical recommendations today. Not just Maiden, but Seventh Son of the Seventh Son specifically.
I love that entire album, Clairvoyant.
It's so good.
Great album.
So good.
It's one of my introduction to the Gallop, really.
Just fucking Russ.
Yeah.
You know what? I prefer you punch me.
Yes, punch me.
But then you told me Iron Maiden was a Gallop.
I love the album. Yeah.
All I fucking hear.
So yeah, I had an enhanced CD, and when you put the enhanced CD in the computer, you had something a little bit, a bonus feature or some video clips or something. And I think there was some music videos in that disc, from I think I like Clairvoyant and some other music video on the disc.
Sure, concert scenes or something. Sure.
Yeah, so that's how that was my analogy, where I said this show is kind of like the enhanced CD, where we're still recording a podcast and we're putting on an audio version of this content. But, every now and then I'll show some extra content that only video can reproduce, like a clip here and there. But for the most part, I'm not going to focus on making this big, YouTube extravaganza of video clips. That'll be another show. Yeah. That wouldn't be this show. This show is more of a podcast of us, shooting the shit.
This is video of us making a podcast.
Yes.
So if we ever decide to make videos of some kind, those will be videos of some kind.
Videos.
But it's not going to be much of a video though if I don't learn to look at the camera. We got feedback from people on that one. So again, I don't know what is wrong with you, why you wish for such things, but I'm going to make a concerted effort to do just that. That's awesome. So I gotta say, man, I'm looking forward to the show. If only to talk to my friend Kevin. So love having this show. Love having you part of my life. Love having all the fans out there supporting us. So thank you for everything, everyone. And today we got a bunch of things to talk about. In fact, we're going to do a little bit of a reintroduction. Just for anybody that's new to the show, maybe YouTube dragged them in, something, whatever, however you found us, we want to welcome you right off the rip.
Yeah, because in all honesty, we have numbers that we can look at and hit refresh 50,000 times a day.
Not that we do
that.
No.
But in all honesty, our numbers have been increasing. So we have, we've been doubling our viewership every month. And this past month, it was a big month for us. I mean, we have a lot more extra people listening to us. I'm sorry, but you are. There's a lot more people listening to us. And so we feel that at this point we should say, okay, let's take a step back. And people that are putting videos on YouTube, I think it makes sense to say, hey, this is what we're about. That way what, we can easily put a lot more content here. But this podcast format that we're doing now, I want to kind of give people a high-level view of what this is.
Without a doubt. And, again, anybody who's been along for the whole ride, can't love you. Can't thank you enough, man. Seriously, we love you. But, yeah, seriously, I mean, it's just cannot thank you enough. But I think we can all admit, present company included, there's been an evolution. Our shows today, I would say, are infinitely better than what they were when we first started.
Yes.
And, again, we're still evolving, folks. So don't get me wrong. We're going to learn fancy things like looking at cameras and things of that nature.
And I know Angry Joe has the same one. So we have a nice little mixers. He calls it a soundboard. And we got ours before Angry Joe.
Nice.
So out there.
And that's the Rodecaster Pro. Might as well give them a shout out because,
Rodecaster Pro.
It's a great tool. It's really improved the show quite a bit.
Yes, makes it sound like we're like radio DJs or something.
Exactly, and of course the Audio Technica headsets.
Yes, which they're probably the lowest version you can get that can plug into this mixer, but it does a pretty good job.
A lot better than what we were doing with the microphones. They were good microphones too. It's just we were using them in the right tool for the job is basically what these headphones are.
Yeah, they were open mics with USB, and they left a lot to be desired. So I end up had to do a whole lot in post production to make them not sound like hissy, noisy devices.
You know what's funny is one of the things I was going to mention too, along with the reintroduction. I suppose we might as well just get into this because I haven't even made it through what this show is about yet.
Yes, we'll get
as
there.
far as topics.
Just to give you a hint. That's where our show's about. It takes us a while to get there.
This is kind of the point, though. Actually, is I was going to say we're changing format somewhat. We're changing structure. Don't get me wrong. We're not getting rid of the "What are you" section, but likewise, we never wanted this to be a regimented show. We wanted it to be just a couple buddies hanging out and interacting with the world, and
it's unscripted.
Exactly.
We have an outline. We can show it to you, but it's really just an outline of scratches and.
Nobody could read this.
Yeah, no one agree that. So it's just an outline of basic topics we want to hit, but we don't script it.
Exactly. So even with something as simple as talking about the topics, I find it funny because our best material isn't really so much things we've written down. It's just the rabbit holes we end up in.
Yes, definitely rabbit holes.
Something as simple as having a formatted intro, for example, we break that structure right off the rip. And, again, for anybody new to us, this is what you can expect from us. It's two buddies talking about pretty much whatever it is we talk about.
Yeah, because we're fans of video games, old and new. Him much older.
I was going to say, big differences
much
by
older
what
games.
we mean there when we say old and new.
I love modern games, but we love, everything from, we have science conversations, which we really even hit on yet on this show.
Yeah, philosophy.
But philosophy, movies, TV shows, so, Music, definitely music. That's a big part of our lives.
So, so I'm going to say, we have a section, for those of you that are new to us, we have a section called the What Are You section. And it's basically where I'm asking Kevin, what are you playing? What are you watching? What are you listening to? And the reality is this entire show is the What Are You section. It's just, true. What are we talking about? And again, Kevin and I become, I'll call them conversation hoarders for this show.
Yes.
In the sense that we it is weird, but we want to share it with all of you. Again, the feedback's been fantastic, and we love doing this. So that's what our show's about for anybody that's just joining us. I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Kevin, but that's what I got.
No, but the only thing I'd like to add is that, not to kind of like segue into like contacting us, but if you email us at tootcast.net, and if you sign up for the Patreon, you guys get to participate, and people have. Our show, many of our episodes were kind of like aided by, and we added to because of what people have written to us, stuff they wanted to talk about.
Without a doubt.
So it's really kind of a shared experience too. So if you contact us and say, "Hey, we hated you saying this," or corrections, that's great too, or compliments.
I like that you pointed at me with corrections.
Corrections. No, it's not. Isn't that camera?
That was subtle. I don't know. I don't know if the camera caught that or not.
That one. I could see it.
He said corrections.
So stuff like that. We definitely include everybody who is listening.
Without a doubt. Yep. Again, you're part of the fold, part of the family, and we love it.
Yes.
So.
And fans have yelled at us before, just to be clear, off camera. So just.
Oh yeah, that's all part of it.
Deservedly.
I actually wanted to ask about that to some degree. Should anybody have the means and the desire and actually become a big donator on the Patreon server? We're definitely giving them a shout out on the show without a doubt. But can we? I've seen it in some videos. Can we add their name to the video in some way?
Oh yeah, I'll put
like
videos
a special thanks to.
Oh yeah, I have the technology. I even have like a logo that I put up in the corner. That took a week, so I'll get there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
I just wanted to throw that out there because you were saying, again, we don't have merch yet. It's a long road.
I'm getting closer. I'm experimenting. But I'm getting there.
We're treading the trail, but it's a long road. And making progress on the LLC. Actually, believe it or not, we'll have to talk about that after the show. But it's definitely somebody doing something like that means a lot to us. We want to be able to. For lack of a better term, compensate in some way. Show our appreciation. I'll say it that way. So,
and who doesn't want to wear a Toot logo wherever they go?
I know. I can't wait, dude. I cannot wait for the merch.
You can be a Tooter too.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh my god, I'm gonna be our biggest customer for the longest time because I have just so many friends and family I want to buy stuff for.
Yeah, I know. Have you tooted today?
I don't know if anyone will want it, but I want to buy it for them anyway.
I know. Just buy it. This is awesome.
Yeah, so
I do want to add one thing.
Yeah.
So for the new listeners, if you notice, the show is not technically called Toot. It's called The One Other Thing.
Yeah.
And the one other thing means something. It's something in our past of how we became friends.
Oh, yeah.
And if somebody writes and asks for that information, we'll give it to you. But until then, it's just a mystery.
Oh, but there were rules to that, though.
Oh, yeah, what was the rules?
We can't know you.
Oh, yeah, you can't be
If
like
you
a
are
friend or
yeah,
family.
If you are related to me in some way or I know
Yeah.
you, that doesn't count.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot ask.
Yes. So yeah, that's really what our name of our show is. The one other thing. It just happens to spell out Toot.
It does, exactly, and we're running with it. So,
Yes.
and again, actually, for people just listening, we are currently running a little, I'll call it a contest, but lack of a better term. We're creating an LLC. We're in the process, and we are soliciting names. We've had a few.
Yep.
Again, celebrity endorsed LLC was
That's true.
Your first foray into that.
Yes.
What else did we have? We had, of course, largely irrelevant. Because
Toot in common.
Tutankhamun, I gotta say, I think is the current champion.
Yeah.
It's truly witty. It is.
It is.
Well done, Haley, because that really is witty.
It is pretty witty.
I really thought that was gonna suck too. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Haley. I really did. I was like, whatever he's gonna say, it's gonna suck.
Yeah.
And that was it was true wit.
Because it didn't come from me. That's why.
There was
awesome.
also We Have Incredible Fans LLC, which of course the acronym there would be WIF.
WIF. Yeah.
To stick with the toot, and we're not going to go with the. Fratercity of other things?
Fratercity.
Yeah. I actually tried. I took an attempt at writing it.
We're gonna get an email.
I'm sure. If nothing else, stop talking.
Yeah.
Please
Stop. Go back to just only audio.
What would it take? How much would it take to buy all of your equipment?
Yeah. Yeah. So this is all for sale.
I just want to buy it so you don't have it anymore.
Yes. Not the laptop. I love the laptop.
Yeah, exactly. It's awesome. Too many gadgets here. So we actually have some things to talk about tonight, though. We have some, aside from our What Are You section, and a copious amount of music suggestions, it sounds like.
Yes.
You said you have some, well, you know what? I'm going to do it in a random order here. You said you had some gaming news to revisit from, previous gaming news.
Yeah, last week I spoke about how Xbox or Microsoft purchased Bethesda and all those id Software and all those, and it was a big deal. And Xbox, because of that, and I think because of the Bethesda announcement, they now have 15 million subscribers for the Xbox Game Pass.
Wow.
So
good on them.
Yeah, so they're, at first I was kind of hesitant on it because I didn't think it was a whole lot of games, and then if the Game Pass, if a game leaves the Game Pass, then which could happen, then you got to pay for the game if you want to keep playing it.
Yep.
But now they have so many, the library is getting so big that why would you pay, even $70 a month to buy one game a month when you can pay, 10 or 15 if you get the ultimate packet? That's the way to go, I think.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to get I don't have an Xbox anymore. I got 360, but I'm going to get the regular PC one for $10 a month. It's $1 to start for the first month.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. I like the PC option.
Yeah, so you can get PC or Xbox or both. I think it's called the Ultimate if you get both. So if I ever get an Xbox, it makes sense to get the Ultimate. I think it's like 15 or 20. I forget.
Agreed. Yeah.
But even then, it's still worth it because you just get, any Microsoft games on day of release, and other games come a little bit later. But the library's getting bigger and bigger.
I'll be honest. I don't think I'm going to have to look into that for a while because I have such a backlog now. It is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I swear I could just play games the rest of my days and I'd still never catch up.
But Microsoft did say this to add to the mystery of it. They said, "We're not done yet. We're looking to buy other companies."
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's going to be a big deal.
And a surprise twist, they're going to buy Sony.
Nobody
saw that coming.
There's so many people guessing who they might buy, So I don't know.
I don't even have guesses. You'd have to know gaming companies left and right.
Yeah. So I don't know who. So it'll be exciting to see who they might buy.
It'll be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and I do like the business model, and it does have implications for later down the road.
Yeah.
I know right now they're not going exclusive with any of these titles, but they're already thinking 3 generations ahead. I'm sure.
Yeah, because I think they want to make I think they said one time this is going to be the last Xbox.
Yeah, the next one's going to be the Xbox X.
But I thought eventually they're going to make it like modular, so you just upgrade pieces of it. But
that'd be cool.
And this is the other thing that's interesting. I watched
they should pay someone to come up with a naming convention. I'm just throwing that out there.
People were confused, by the way, on the pre-order. They ordered the wrong ones.
Of course
because the Xbox X and the Series X were too close together, and people were ordering the wrong one.
Of course they were. Yeah, I can't even mock them. Well, I'm sure I will, but
yeah,
you can't fault them.
But what was I gonna say? So I don't know.
Now you're leaning towards Xbox, so
I don't know. I just don't think I'm not really I'm on the fence now. I'm glad I didn't pre-order the PlayStation right now. But the video I watched today had a very interesting point. It's like this is the first generation. This is a big deal this generation.
mm-hmm.
The reason why it's a big deal is because they look at all the CPU and graphics cards through every um, consoles that's ever existed.
Yeah.
They were always behind the PC.
Mm-hmm.
And even the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox 360, they're all using like a cheaply made CPU
Yeah.
that was never going to be equivalent to a desktop CPU. This generation, they're all using desktop CPUs, desktop video cards.
Yeah.
That's why these are huge now. So it's now the lines are blurred on what's a console, what's a PC.
Well, I mean, it makes sense though. Look at the prices.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the console used to cost around $100.
Yeah. But now developers.
My day,
yeah.
Kevin.
Yeah, but yeah, my day.
Well, we bought our nickel or video games for a nickel.
Nickel, Jesus. Well, at least a token for a quarter. But because of they're now basically desktop PCs.
Yeah.
The days of the bad port is over, where you make a
Oh,
game,
yeah.
on
Makes sense.
one system and then port over to another. It's garbage.
Yep.
Those days are over now. They're all going to be pretty much equivalent.
I know you're going to miss them, but you're like the only one, or you can join some support group. I cannot wait to never see a loading screen again.
No more loading screens.
Oh, I'm not going to miss that stupid little tip. I don't care.
Well, the video I said it doesn't guarantee it's going to be over day one. Developers still have to make the games function that way.
Oh, okay.
So you may have loading screens in the first set of games.
If they're at least faster, that's something.
They should be.
Yeah.
They should be. They totally redesigned, especially the PlayStation. They did a better job designing the whole infrastructure, where the Xbox went more just regular PC. So you might see better loading screens in the PS4, even though technically the Xbox is slightly better hardware. So you just got to see how it plays out.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
It's up to developers to see how they play out.
If it somehow has loader, so there, yeah. So that might have been a weird blip, but technical difficulties, folks.
I'll find a way to mesh it somehow where it just looks like we're just.
You won't even know what just happened. You won't know about the train that just came through this room.
Yeah, I know. So.
Well,
All
that's okay though. We were actually kind of between topics anyway. Mm-hmm. So we were going to talk about. You'd said. Well, I guess again, this whole show is kind of the "What are you" section.
Yes.
So game completions. You said you'd beaten some games, so I guess this falls under the heading of what are you playing these days, buddy?
Yeah, what I'm playing. I finished the Norman Reedus UPS delivery system.
Oh, and that game's
simulator.
Huge.
Yes, that game is huge.
Did you get the good ending?
Oh, was there a bad ending?
I have no idea.
Oh, I don't know. I like the ending.
Okay.
Oh, you're right. You know what? There is a bit. Now I know about it. I know what I know what you speak of. There is a bad ending.
I'm glad one of us knows what I speak.
There is a bad ending, and I don't think I got the bad ending because I think I made the right choice.
All right.
So I think at the end you had a choice.
Is this a spoiler episode?
I'm not gonna go crazy with spoiler. I just want to talk about a couple of things on some concepts.
Okay.
Because
I should warn anybody.
Yeah.
If this is your first time, Kevin is entirely going to ruin it for you.
Yeah, I'm going to ruin the game.
Just be aware. He doesn't mean it, but he's entirely going to be like, oh my God, he was dead the whole time.
And he was dead the whole time. No. No, there's a couple. Well, one, mostly I just want to just kind of see if Death Stranding, if you've seen the videos, you've seen it's very polarizing on some people love it. Some people think it's genius. And I have some theories of why it's one thing or another. Mostly I want to convince people that you should play it.
Okay. You're an advocate for the game.
Yeah, it's now have reached the list of top 10 games you should play before you die.
Top 10?
Top 10.
Wow.
Yeah, the game is...
you taking this on your desert island?
Not desert island. Just before you die.
All right.
Before you die. Because you couldn't play this game for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things like a really good movie. I'm talking like Godfather levels. This is a game.
Don't even go there.
Well, Godfather 3 levels. I'll go that.
Okay. It's not flattering, but okay.
Yeah, it's not flattering. I don't know. 2.5. I don't know what to say. I know what to say. But it was a really one. I got to give the developers credit.
You ruined me. Norman Reedus and The Godfather have nothing to do with each other.
Well, in my head, it made sense, but then I said it and it stopped. I do love Norman Reedus. He plays the hell out of himself in this game.
I don't know how you haven't seen the Boondock Saints. I'm telling you, you should
go
watch. You're going to be up till probably 2 a.m. anyway. Watch the Boondock Saints tonight.
So I just want to talk about what a high level what this game is about, and why I think certain people hated it and why some people are going to love it.
Okay.
And I'm not saying this to be ageist, but I think that if you're, and again, if you're young, which I can tell most of our listeners aren't little kids anyways, that young people who are like, we're expecting an action-packed Metal Gear Solid, Call of Duty isn't going to like this game.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it's a kind of philosophical game that older you are, the more you appreciate what this game's trying to do.
So if I wait 10 years, will I like it more?
You're my age, you'll like it. Actually, I'm a little bit. You're right. I'm a little bit older.
You are.
Next month, you'll be ready for this game.
Kevin's 1 month older than me, and I don't let him forget it.
Yes, 1 month. But so this game, and I'm not gonna try to spoil much for the game, is for the artistry of the game. One, they accomplished something in the game by putting human characters into the game and making them look human. They didn't look like cartoon representations of Norman Reedus. It looked like Norman Reedus. It looked like Mads Mikkelsen in it. It looked like Linda Cartwright, or I forget her name.
Okay.
Lindsay Wagner.
There you go.
Yeah, Lindsay Wagner. It looked like them in the game. It didn't look like they had some cartoon with dead eyes.
Yeah.
It looked like, these actors, and it wasn't just like cutscenes. Everything they did, it felt like a real living person was doing this. So to add it to the, I don't know, the
So you end up caring about
atmosphere.
these people, and you
start
had an
yeah.
emotional bond of some kind with these folks.
Yeah, and so you've seen the trailers. It's clear that Norman Reedus, whose name is Sam Porter in the game, starts the game as, well, basically a typical character you would think Norman would play, a broken character who thinks everyone sucks, and there's hardly any point to anything.
All right.
He just wants to make it to the next day. That's just all he cares about. So that's something you can get behind, because I kind of agree with him.
Basic instinct survival, you mean?
Yeah. So that's all he really
People
cares
are
about.
generally a big fan of that.
Big fan. But then as the game goes on, they did something cool. One, they introduced, Hideo Kojima decided to pick, he just went to the grab bag of philosophies and just picked 50 different things and put them all in the game.
Okay.
It had concepts. So it had a concept of what the Death Stranding, which is the dead and the living at the same time on Earth. He threw in the ha and the ka in it, where the ha is your body and the ka is your soul.
Your spiritual energy, okay.
And every person has their own beach, which is their own personal afterlife that you can go visit.
Oh, that's kind of nice.
It had a extinction entity, which they went and said all through history there was the Big Bang.
Yeah.
And then every 5 times have been an extinction entity that brought the end of all living beings in the known world.
The apocalypse kind
The
of thing.
apocalypse, basically. And this game was introducing a new one.
Okay.
They introduced a thing called Timefall, and this was the cool part of the game, where when the game rains, the rain is basically time travel drops. So if you're driving a vehicle in the game, you can see in real time the vehicle rusting as you're driving it. It's rusting, and the package you're carrying are rusting, and the equipment you're carrying is rusting. So you have to seek shelter as you go along the game. So yeah, that's all my notes really for the game. But the game, because it introduces so many life and death, and is it, if the world's going to end, does it matter if it's today or 500 years from now or 10,000 years from now?
I'm going to take the latter.
That's the choice you make in the game.
Yeah, later's good.
Later's good, but they present in a way where I can see why you see it your way. It's presented that way where you understand, and it's in fact.
Well, I'm seeing it my way for that reason you started with.
Yeah,
it's that self-preservation.
Self-preservation, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, you give me the apocalypse today or 10,000 years from now. 10,000 years sounds pretty good.
Yeah, and I think that if you start the game, and if you're really Sam Porter, if you start it then and you had the decision to make then and there, he'd say F it all.
That's just selfish.
I know, but then as the game goes on, you start interacting with people, and you can see the character development in the game, where he's helping out communities, delivering packages, giving them medical equipment. As time goes on, Sam Porter softens.
Well, yeah, but I'd say there's a far cry from I want to kill myself, I don't think I'm worth anything, and I want to, versus I want to kill myself and I want to take everyone with me.
Yes, yes.
Those are two very dramatically different things in my world.
But it wasn't the main character who wanted to do that. It was this extinction entity. That's what it was designed for. That's what it wanted to do. And again, without giving too much stuff, they're maybe this shouldn't be up to me. the extinction entity.
Okay, yeah. Who am I to say? He came to the same conclusion I did.
Right. So it was kind of
I
interesting.
already beat the game.
Yeah, you already did. So it was just out interweaving, and then it had awesome time travel in it, where you kept on these weird clouds would show up, and the first time you went you were in World War One.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
the second time you were in World War II, and then you were in Vietnam War. You were just in the middle of these battles, and it was really interesting. You're meeting Mads Mikkelsen character. I have no idea what character his name was in the game, but I call him Mads Mikkelsen because his name is Mads. How can you call him anything else?
Yeah.
So he's been in a ton of TV shows and movies, but even Guillermo del Toro had an awesome scene in it. He played a guy that had no Ka. He was completely Ha, which is interesting too.
Yeah.
And there's a guy in the game who would kill himself every 20 minutes and revive himself with electrodes because he was searching for his family in his beach. The game is like, I'm telling you, it wasn't like a simple like here's a plot.
Yeah.
It was all over the place.
Sounds it.
And so
Just like I'm digging the beach scene. I'm like, oh, I got a beach, and it's a big beach. You can get lost on it. I'm liking this beach.
It's neat, yeah. So it's basically your own personal afterlife, and you can visit other people's beaches. So it's just, it's like I said, as you get older, the game is like, man, it's saying stuff here. To me, it's saying important stuff.
I'm starting to think our desert island list was just preparation.
Yeah, I know. We're getting ready. It's not a beach. It's not a desert island. It's actually gonna be a beach.
It's a beach. Well, what is a desert island if not a beach?
Yeah. So I found the game extremely fascinating and in some ways moving. In fact, yes, as you know me, there was an end scene that involved a father and a son that never met each other.
Yep, that's awesome.
So they had a scene because they never met each other in real life, or they did, but they didn't. It was complex.
I really do not think I'm a heartless bastard, but boy, I'm definitely nowhere near as sensitive as you.
So yeah, when I saw that scene and there was a hug moment, and it was like, there's no way in real time, because then they also mentioned time. So on top of all that, there was time travel and space-time involved. So time didn't matter to some people.
Yeah.
And Norman Reedus' characters could repatriate, which means he could come back to life if there was a void out there. I'm telling you, this story was
sounds
really
very complicated. Yeah, for a dude that's just delivering packages.
But you wouldn't know it because that's all you really seemed to do for the first like 3-4 hours of the game. Then all of a sudden it became a story.
Okay.
And I think some people complain that I would say the last 2 hours of the game became just a big an interactive movie, which I was fine with because they were wrapping up some complex storylines that was all over the place. And this game, you miss out too in this game if you don't read all the journals and emails that you get.
Can you tell me who the baby was, or is it going to spoil everything?
I'm not going to tell you who the baby was. Okay. And I had a theory, and I was wrong.
Okay, it's fantastic.
I wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
I wasn't right. I was right.
I know
wrong.
what your theory was.
It was weird.
I don't know if you shared it with the fans, but I know what your theory was.
I know my theory was, and I was wrong, but close. So it was kind of cool. And there was another little recount moment I had when you find out who the baby really is.
It's fantastic.
It's really, because there was that, I'm not going to say anymore, but the game.
Does the baby ever actually get to be a person?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I know you're basically using.
Well, which baby? Baby 1, baby 2, baby 3?
I don't know. The baby you're carrying around using as a scanner.
Yes.
You're like the Black and Decker baby.
Yes. Yeah, there is. I can't talk about it. But
wow. Okay. All right. I'm not trying to spoil anything. It's just ask questions.
Yeah, if you're an emotional person such as I, the game has moments in it. They don't, and it's not in the beginning. It's closer to the end of the game. You're like, and if it gets under your skin, you're like, wow, that was saying something. So the game is just. I'm gonna play it again too. I'll probably be able to get through it quicker because I know what's what and what's where. But I like to be able to. You're helping other people too.
Yeah.
Which is a weird part because
real people, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, real humans. So there was a boss battle that I was having trouble with at the end of the game, and humans were handing me equipment to revive me.
Oh, that's groovy.
It was messed up. I was like, people are helping me.
That's nice.
Yeah, I was like, this is, and it would have been harder if those people weren't helping me. So humans were helping me along.
That's very nice.
And the big boss battle was a giant, because this game, at first when you're playing the game for 3 or 4 hours, you're like, is this had anything related to a normal game here? Yeah, there's boss battles in the game and several of them.
Okay.
So it has that same...
And what are you doing? Shooting guns or...
You have many different kinds of weapons.
You have a specific set of skills?
A specific set of skills. The most popular gun against BTs, which are basically... I forget what the BT stands for, but basically they're half dead, half living. You can't really see them right away without your BB unit. You shoot them with... You find out your own blood can hurt them. So you actually load your blood into your gun to shoot them.
Okay.
And the problem with that is that you only have a limited supply of that.
Yeah, you have a finite amount of blood. Yes.
Yes.
Generally speaking, you're breaking one of my rules too. I have a strict keep the blood on the inside rule.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of that
So
one.
you have to use your blood to hurt these creatures. But
Okay.
other humans, you can use other means. But the problem is if you kill too many humans, that makes more BTs.
Okay.
So-
I'd be surrounded by BTs.
Yeah.
Can I use their blood on the BTs?
No, but there's blood packages all over the place. That's what people were handing me, blood packs,
Okay.
at the end of the game. And it really made a huge difference. So I had like a rocket launcher with 4 rockets at once. I was shooting at this beast. It was a pain. But the game is awesome. I mean, it's just awesome.
All right. So that's a big recommendation. You say
Yes.
top 10 before you die.
Yeah, because I think that it's rare when this game is more than a game. It is because you would have liked it if it was a movie or a TV show. It would have been great. But the fact that you were playing and you start really caring about these people, it gets on your skin in a way a TV show can't.
Should I play this or Mass Effect 3?
That's tough.
It's not really a decision right now anyway. But
Yeah.
just trying to make it hard for you. Get an idea where it falls.
I think Mass Effect 2 is a game you should play before you die. Mass Effect 3, not necessarily, although it's a great game.
Yeah.
And I think the game is Mass Effect 3 is a little bit more mass appeal to it.
Okay.
You know, so it's probably easier to get into and get out of it quickly.
Well, I mean, I did 1 and 2. I did
Yeah.
1 and 2.
Yeah, so I like the game a lot, but there was verklempt moments in that game too because I hate when the characters I like die in a bad way.
Oh, when they shot that girl that I liked, the blue girl,
Yeah.
and she went in the vent and they shot her right in the head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't care. I was like,
Yeah, you
whatever.
didn't care.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't mean for her to die. I would have sent
Actually-
the other chick if I'd known.
Yeah, there's other characters in the game that you start caring about, and when they die, it bothers you a little
You
bit.
know who I missed? I missed the girl who said you had mail.
Oh,
That's the only one I missed.
yeah. You can actually have a relationship with her.
You said that, and I was like, I never
Yeah.
actually spoke to her.
Yeah.
She just would be like, hey, you got mail. And I'd be like, hey, thanks.
Yeah,
And I never actually
like
talked to her.
I saved her life when I played.
I did, yeah, she didn't make it.
Yeah. So,
Well, I got her, but she was like liquid.
well, for some reason, and not to go back to gaming news, but Baldur's Gate 3, when it comes out, there are some screenshots from the developers showing all the possible sexual positions the game will offer. It'd be many, many, many sexual positions, apparently.
Because that's a thing, huh?
Apparently that is. So
That's a big part of the game, huh?
Yeah, that's weird.
That is weird.
Yeah.
You
so-
gotta like memorize the Kama Sutra to beat the game.
I guess. I don't know. You ever play Monkey Island? Because you got to memorize how to argue, how to beat
You
that
told
game?
me about that, but no, I
Yeah,
haven't
so
played
it's going to
it.
be like that. That's how you
Yeah.
win. I don't know. That's gonna be
Wheelbarrow
weird.
for the win.
Yeah, I know.
mean, just-
Yeah, I draw the line at the Dirty Sanchez, though. That was for you.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, that is funny.
So again, Death Stranding. I don't know if I'll play it again right away because I didn't read all the journals and articles. I went and said, what did that mean? And I Googled something, and I'm like, crap, I can tell I really needed to read all of these because I was getting tons of emails in the game.
Okay.
And I was ignoring them.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm going to go back and re-experience them while reading those emails because then that filled in backstory.
Yeah.
So, and it wasn't like crazy like Bethesda games where you had a million books. It was only like 50 emails tops. I could have read them.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, you know me in the reading. It's just like, words. Okay. What do you want me to kill?
Yeah, so the game is fun. The vehicles were great. And yeah, and the story was fascinating, beyond fascinating. And it just like, it got to me because I'm like, these are things I think about, you know? It's like how the universe is created. Is the universe trying to collapse on itself again back into the single entity it was back in the beginning? It had all these thoughts in the game that's kind of like out there.
Now, is it a standalone story, or did they make a hook for Death Stranding 2?
There's
Death
definitely...
Still Stranding.
No, there's really... they didn't leave anything dangling.
I like that. I
Yeah.
like that. That they had a
Yeah.
story to tell and they
Yeah.
told it, and they didn't think, okay, let me make this,
Yeah.
Death Stranding 16.
No, they kind of explained every single character of why they existed, and
Nice.
and what the whole purpose of the Death Stranding was, and called it a day. But yeah, they went back in time, like fossil records and how this happened before, and like I said, they were talking about how, the Big Bang. This is like the reverse Big Bang theory that the universe seems to be trying to claw its way back into its single entity that it started with, and that's what all this stuff is about.
The rubber band theory.
Yeah, so
The way I've always read it, though, is if that
Yeah.
does occur, it'll happen instantly.
yeah, that'd be kind of interesting.
It really wouldn't, though.
Yeah.
That's the problem with instantly.
Yeah, instant in the span of the infinite universe would seem instant to the universe, but to us, it'd be like billion years, or
Oh, would it though? I don't
Yeah.
know, because that's the
Yeah.
thing. Like, I mean, people worry about the the Hadron Collider, like
the God particle.
Well, finding the Higgs boson, but they're worried about black holes being created on Earth.
Science stuff now.
And but the thing is, and this is why you don't need to worry about it.
Yeah.
If a black hole were somehow created on Earth, it would destroy all life on Earth immediately.
Yeah.
And I mean immediately. You wouldn't have time to register it, much less say, "Oh shit!" You would cease to be.
Yes.
It wouldn't even be a snap. It would be faster than that. So I mean, how do you worry about that?
Yeah.
That's going to happen. There's nothing you can do about it.
There's nothing.
And you won't even know it happened.
Yeah. But with all those, so my point was, with all those kind of ideas and philosophical ideas of how the universe is going to end, kind of thing, young people, a lot of them that are more into action-packed game. Not everybody. I would have liked this game when I was a kid, though, to be honest with you. But a lot of people will be like, no, this is not the game I'm looking for.
Well, yeah, it was a slower pace than if you're looking for an action game, this isn't it. Yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily age. You are ageist.
Yeah, I'm a little bit ageist, but I would have liked it when I was a kid, too, because I'm a weirdo.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're looking for action, this isn't the one.
This
if you're looking for a slower pace or you're trying to apply it at UPS, this is the way to go.
Yes. And yeah, the game itself isn't perfect, but like I said, the way it unfolded was genius, absolute genius.
And it sounds if you're a fan of Norman Reedus, it sounds like this is also the way to go.
Oh yeah, he's naked for like 30% of the game.
That's fantastic.
So, yeah, you love it.
I like that. It's on the plus column.
Yeah.
And on a pro side.
So to kind of like snowball into that, there's another video game that's out. Apparently, it's been out for 2 years.
Okay.
It's called Among Us. And again, for the enhanced CD version of it.
Oh, this is fancy. You get to play a video now. This is just crazy talk.
Yeah, so for the enhanced version of
we're
it.
like a real show now.
Yeah, like a real show. Let's go full screen. So this game is called Among Us.
Yeah.
It's a game that came out 2018. People falsely assume that this game came out because of COVID, but it's the perfect game for COVID. Because basically you can play 4 to 10 people, local or online.
Okay.
And there's some board games that are pretty much similar to this called Mafia. But basically you have a imposter or 2 imposters in the game. It's randomly selected each round.
Okay.
And everyone goes around that the normal people doing tasks. So as they're doing tasks, and I'll just skip to the next video. So as they're doing tasks, I'll just...
oh boy, we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, we don't need to see a commercial right now. So as they're doing tasks, like they're doing little mini games and tasks.
Okay.
And you can win the game if everyone can get their tasks done, but the tasks take a while to get done. So everyone's doing their tasks.
While
the imposters are going around pretending to do tasks, and if they get you alone, they cut you in half.
Nice.
And they have a cooldown before they can kill someone else. But it's still not the genius of the game. So eventually they can kill more people, or a couple imposters kill more people, but someone spots the body. And sometimes you can spot the person. Yeah,
you know who the imposter is.
You can know what the imposter is. There's no guarantee anything about that, which is hilarious. So then basically everyone's muted their mics during that process.
Yeah.
But as soon as somebody spots a body or hits the emergency button and say, I want to talk, everybody's mics come on except for the people that are dead now.
Okay.
They can't participate.
Yeah, they can't be like, hey, it was Kevin the whole time.
Yeah, then you could say, hey, Kevin, what were you doing in the hallway right here next to that body? And I go, I don't know, but I saw you walk in.
Nice.
So it's basically lying your butt off.
Yep.
Every level, and here's some more screenshots on it. So the game, I think it can, in certain circumstances, ruin friendships.
So is this the game you bought?
I purchased $5. You own it. You own it now. I own it.
I think this game can ruin friendships. I bought it for us.
I bought it for us, yes. I think we can survive. I have no idea what this screen is.
I think we can survive. Yeah, I think we'll be okay.
So to be clear, the game, it's worth watching a couple videos on it on the internet because see how it's played. But there's a couple of people like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye that play it. And they're having fun with it, They're not like...
I don't even know who those people... Should I know those people?
Oh, you should.
I should.
You should know Markiplier. You guys know Markiplier. They're big gamer dudes.
I have Kevin written on this hand just so I can get through this show. Like, hey, Kevin.
Jesus. They're big deal, like PewDiePie.
Okay, I know PewDiePie.
Okay, he actually plays in the same group. They all know each other.
PewDiePie has like 8 billion followers, and there's 7.2 billion people on Earth. I mean, figure that one out.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy. So he plays with the same group of people. So, yeah, some people get to kill PewDiePie. But yeah, so that's the genius of the game is, and then you can set it up so you make it easy on you. So if you vote off an imposter, because that's basically a voting screen, you
Okay,
can
I was gonna
vote.
say what happens when I know it was you, Kevin.
Yeah, you can vote them off. So you can be easy. The way people see it play at first is they vote, and then they say at the end you see them floating in space, and they say whether you were an imposter or
Yeah,
not.
so you might kill somebody who was not an imposter.
Right. So
Yeah.
it might say that. That's easy mode. Hard mode was remove that. So it just said you just got rid of this guy. You voted him off. That's it. You don't know if he
You
really
don't know
was
if it
an
was really.
imposter.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what you can increase the difficulty and sliders of the game.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, was I right? Was
Yeah.
the guy telling the truth? Who was more
Well,
convincing?
it's good to know because you said there's 2 imposters.
There doesn't have to be, but when you have like 10 people, you need 2 imposters.
Yeah,
to get the
so
game
if you
going.
kill one, but
Yeah.
somebody, and you immediately find out, okay, that was the imposter.
Yeah.
You know, there's only one of them left.
Right.
So that is
Yeah.
useful information.
There's lots of useful information you can get together and like discuss and talk about it. And there's another screen on it. That's pretty cool. So you can discuss and talk about it. And
It's interesting.
yeah, it's interesting. So
We'll have to get. And what medium is this on? You use
you
Steam,
can play.
so there's
it's-
PC.
So it's PC or iPad, and they can play together.
Okay, cool. I dig that. I do like the way games are becoming cross console.
So this is another example of a good guy developer where they were in the process of making Among Us 2.
Mm-hmm.
Then this got popular like crazy, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're not going to make Among Us 2. We're canceling the game. We're going to put everything we were going to put in Among Us 2 and put it into this."
That's awesome. That's very, very cool. Good on them.
Good guy company. So yeah, I said they're $5. I'm buying them for $5.
Yeah.
I'll buy it for everybody I know because there's little trapdoors too.
And is their name literally Good Guy Company?
No, I don't know who the name of the guy. I just think they're a good guy company.
Yeah.
I have no idea the name of the company.
Okay. No, I was just wondering. I was going to give them a shout out,
Yeah.
but no, I
The
dig
Good
that.
Guy Company.
I dig that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it sounded like. Why the Good Guy Company?
Yeah, you can. The bad guy can like turn off locked doors and and set off alarms and.
This is kind of spy versus spy kind of thing.
It very much is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The old school people know what spy versus spy is. So this is basically spy versus spy, but with more than 2 players.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very much that, and it looks like a blast. And it's not even this part that's a blast of them walking around doing stuff. It's when you have the discussions.
You know, that's something for this future, no rush here, but
Yeah.
one day we're going to have to figure out a way to play with fans.
Yes.
People want to actually join in some of these games.
These
with
guys
us.
do that. I've seen them do it. So this game, like, it's 2 years old, is now hugely popular.
Yeah.
If you just go to YouTube Among Us, you'll see hundreds of videos now.
I'll be honest, I can't wait to play with like fans of ours that
Yeah.
play Unreal Tournament and have our, they're
Oh,
going to
yeah.
smoke us. And I'm
Yeah.
going to laugh because it's like,
Yeah.
okay, we played the shit out of this
Yeah.
game and still, it's like we're not even playing.
Challenge accepted.
That's awesome. Although last LAN party we went to, I have to admit, it was just Kevin and I smoking.
Yeah,
And
we're-
to the point where one dude said, "Do you two play any other game?"
Anything else? For God's sakes. Yeah, and what was it? We had one landing party where we made a mistake where we said whoever comes in last in every round has to eat this disgusting candy.
Yeah, it was the Jelly Belly, the Bean Boozled they
Yeah.
call them, where they taste like earwax or something horrible.
Yeah, but if you combine that with alcohol,
Yep, which we did.
you get my walls gets messed up. I'm just saying it wasn't good. It wasn't good.
Actually, we should tell that story. No, everything about that story makes me laugh because that was our first LAN party.
I almost
And
lost
that
my
was-
wife on that one.
When I called you and I was like, "Hey, Kevin, you want to have a LAN party?" You're like, "That's a great idea." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Great, we're doing it at your house."
Yeah, thanks. Threw a party at my house.
Somehow that worked. I have no idea how. But honestly, I did not go to a LAN party. I went to a drinking game where we were playing video games. Most people came to a LAN party where there happened to be drinking, but no, I went to a drinking game where we happened to
Yeah.
be playing video games. And yeah, we got good and hammered. I mean, that was
Yes.
that was a good time.
It was a good time.
And actually, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't the Fireball as well?
Fireball whiskey was involved.
And
This is
actually,
correct.
boy, if memory really serves, there were also, I want to say that was the time when you were making those vodka cherries.
Yes, I soaked maraschino cherries in vanilla vodka.
Yes. Yep.
I recommend it.
I dare say, yeah, I don't drink like that.
And then I'm
much.
like a weird chef where I took those same cherries and dunked them in melted chocolate and then sprinkles as well.
Yep. Yeah, yeah, you do go next level when you make stuff. I have to admit, you
Yeah,
do.
I'm a little weird when I throw little LAN parties.
But yeah, that was good. That
I
was a
like
good
to make it
time.
fun.
And yeah, your wall. Sorry, Charlize.
Yeah,
The wall definitely took the brunt of that one.
yeah, my wall didn't recover. Yeah,
Um,
and I didn't even know it for days because my father-in-law suggested we paint our walls with eggshell paint, which I just thought was a color, not a texture. But apparently, it's a texture.
it is.
So we had to walk close. Charlie's like, "Can you look at the wall? Do you see anything on there?" I'm like, "No." She goes, "Walk closer." So I took a few steps. I'm like, "No, nothing." So I had to walk like literally this much.
Yeah, you had to get like a weird angle
Yeah,
for the
and
light
I'm
to
like,
catch it just right.
but it
Oh,
was caked in it.
oh,
It was caked in it, just all down the wall. I'm like, she goes, "You're cleaning it up."
yeah, yeah. That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair. That was. I just don't get that one. I
yeah,
don't get that one.
yeah.
You
So
know. But
such is life.
oh, by the way, folks, I am trying to be conscious of this. I'm not shy in the
Oh.
in the slightest. I'm lazy. It's it's worse than that.
Yeah, I try my best to be lazy, but yeah, it doesn't always work. And now, I'm showing Unreal Tournament
I see that.
2004
Yeah,
video.
exactly. I dig that. I
We
dig
have the
that.
technology.
And yeah, we play Instagib, folks. So you
Yes.
basically just have the one gun. It has a zoom, and that's all there is to say about that, really.
Yeah, you can tell this is games from 2004, and the graphics still hold up. It doesn't have ray tracing in it, but I'm sure someone will add that eventually. They did it to Minecraft.
For me, it's the movement for some
Yeah.
reason. It just feels natural to move around in that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, every show will be an ode to Unreal Tournament 2004.
Yes.
But one day, exactly what led us here, though,
Yeah.
is one day I'd love to find the means to be able to actually play with fans, so we can, don't get me wrong, whether it be spy versus spy, springing a trap on you or shooting you in the head with,
Yeah.
the Instagib gun in Unreal Tournament. If that gets old, we've not come close to that point yet.
Yeah, because from what me viewing Among Us and our experience playing Unreal Tournament 2004, they both will make you say, "Fuck you."
Yeah, exactly. It's
in a loving manner.
well, that's honestly though, that's what I've always loved about Unreal, and you literally can hear it with me when we're playing other games because we played a lot of shooters, but we always end up back at Unreal because Unreal will make me pretty much do exactly what you said.
Yeah.
You'll come around out of nowhere and shoot me, and it's like, fuck,
Fuck.
God damn it, and
Yes.
it's that reaction.
You punch me right in the balls.
Yeah, pretty much, exactly, exactly. But
Damn it.
we played other shooters, and it's just like, okay, you shot me out of nowhere, and
Yeah.
it doesn't give me that reaction, that emotion,
Yes.
and that's why any game that does that, I don't care what it is, and we're idiots. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's playing a video game or walking across the street. If it becomes a competition,
Yeah.
we go for it.
So, yes, so I would like us to play Among Us at some point, and I'm trying to get more people involved that I know. Like, I think Charlize and Mick should play it. I
Okay.
think it's simple, I'm not saying they're simple people, but I'm just saying
No,
it's
you better pray they never listen to this episode.
You're not
You are
going to.
fucked.
No,
Yeah,
I'm just
you're
saying.
pretty much fine.
No. They don't play games as much as us, but I think this is a game that plays like Cluedo or something. It's really
Plays-
Cluedo. Cluedo.
What is Cluedo?
It was a computer version of Clue.
Wow.
It came out like in 1986 or something.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, is that just me? I wonder.
Yeah.
Write in if you've ever heard of Cluedo.
Cluedo.
I'm
yeah.
wondering if like everyone knows Cluedo, or I mean
Does-
Clue I would have gotten, but the
Yeah.
Cluedo reference threw me.
I think Cluedo was the PC version of Clue.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm pretty
I don't
sure.
know if people reference. Have you ever heard another human being reference
Clue.
Cluedo?
Cluedo versus Clue. Here we go.
Yeah, that's my point. Yeah.
The essential saving. The game is the same. North America's Cluedo, and Cluedo is the rest of the world. So,
Oh, see, that's
Cluedo-
even better. So
yeah.
you just made an international reference.
yeah. So Cluedo is what the whole world knows.
That's fantastic. You just dodged a bullet. You just
Wow.
got lucky. Yeah, that was
God.
just like
Thank God for Google.
just made a dumb reference, and yet it's an awesome reference just because
Yes. You know how you solved this in the 90s? You didn't.
you didn't.
You didn't.
just didn't.
You just didn't. So
great.
yeah, it's real.
So now that you finished
Yes.
Death Stranding, and I understand Among Us is definitely something we're gonna try soon.
Yeah, we're gonna have to try it. And, yeah.
What else are you playing? Or have you played anything else?
No, that's I finished Death Stranding, and then I've been watching literally 2 or 3 hours a night of this. Seriously, it's one of those games you can watch someone else play for 4 hours,
Oh, okay.
and it
'cause
just
it's-
flies by.
Yeah.
Because it's hilarious. Because you're like, oh my god, they're gonna fight about this, and you can hear because they use different Discord servers,
Yeah.
the chat function. so all the dead people can chat together and all
Yeah.
the living people can chat. So when somebody dies, he goes, "That motherfucker just killed me."
Yep.
And
Sounds
like,
about
yeah,
right.
we saw him do it. I saw him do it.
Yep.
And what's interesting is that when you're dead, you can still complete your tasks. So even when you're dead, you have something to do.
Oh, that's cool. I definitely dig that.
Yeah.
Actually, there was it was just me. I think it was F-Zero X or F-Zero for the Nintendo 64. There was one of them where you could play multiplayer,
Yeah.
but if you died, because you could die in that game,
Yeah.
the other racer was still going, but you'd get a slot machine you could play. And basically, if you got the right combination, you just kill the player.
Jeez.
And you had nothing else to do. So, of course, you're just going to wail on the thing.
Exactly.
So, yeah, good stuff. But I like that. I like games where, and that's become more of a thing even with board games, I've heard. I like games where if you get eliminated or you lose in some way,
Yeah.
you're still playing.
Yeah.
You know, unlike
Yeah, just like-
Monopoly where you got 4 people to start, but people get knocked out and then it's just 2 of you there for the last 2 hours, you know?
Oh, I never even heard this developer for Among Us, but the name of the developer, Inner Sloth.
Inner Sloth. Okay, we dig these people. So
I like that name already.
Shout out to Inner Sloth
Inner
though
Sloth.
for not coming out with the second version and just putting those investments into
Look at
the
the ratings.
first.
10 out of 10 on Steam. I mean, this game is well liked.
Yeah,
And,
we'll give it a try.
And some people even like it when you do randos. And a lot of games I hate playing with randos. So I think you can get bad servers where some people are just playing wrong.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they seem to be trying to play the game properly. And when you play it like that, a lot of it use the text messages to chat rather than audio. So I think it takes a lot of preparation to get the audio going. So you usually have to do that part with friends.
I got you. Yep. Yeah, there's a lot more games though like that. The Friday the 13th
Yep.
game actually was kind of groovy, but it's just doesn't work for 2 people.
Yeah, no, you need to know people. We need friends or fans. I'll go with fans.
It's awesome. That's great. So you have no. What's in your your scope for next?
I'm in between games, so
Yeah.
I'm not sure what I'm gonna play next.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I find it funny actually. It's like shows. You're in between them and you don't actually know, and you end up on whatever you end up on.
Yeah, I think this weekend I'll probably go through my Steam library and say, "Yeah, I haven't played you yet."
Yep.
Yeah, so
That's
that's
awesome.
probably what I'll end up doing. I felt like I don't know. It's like a job. I feel like I accomplished something being Death Stranding.
Well, yeah.
It was like
exactly.
this is a big deal. It's a UPS job.
I was going to say, I hope you get the brown shorts any day now.
Yeah.
They should be coming in the mail.
It was awesome. In fact, which is hilarious, I just watched a South Park episode because I'm trying to catch up on all the South Parks, and there was a UPS show where they're killing all the UPS driver and trying to murder him. And it turned out to be one parent was dressed up as a UPS driver in their bedroom.
Oh, that's great.
And the kid was confused. He thought it was a UPS man. So now they're trying to kill the UPS man in town.
That's great. I haven't watched South Park in ages, but God, they're fantastic.
Yeah, for some reason I was like, I never really watch all the episodes, so now I'm trying to go through them all.
Okay.
So,
yeah,
get there.
There's a lot, man. That's been around forever.
Yeah.
So yeah, honestly, I don't have anything. I barely been playing, but when I am playing these days, still Need for Speed. I'm just gonna be hooked on that for a while.
That reminds me, this coming month, the PlayStation Plus games. One of them is a Need for Speed game, but it's not the one you're playing.
Oh, really? I probably have it already.
Free game, Need for Speed.
I'm curious though,
PS4
if you play
Plus.
such a thing, we could potentially play multiplayer on one of them.
What is next? October. Oh, so it doesn't come out like the
Yeah,
1st of
they're
October.
not on the first day of, but yeah, they're soon. Whatever last month's were, I got.
Need for Speed Payback.
I have Payback.
Oh,
Yep.
so it's free now.
Um,
It's still worth buying though, or click and buy. That way, if you ever feel like playing it, you can just download right to the hard drive rather than put the disc in every time you want to play it.
no, I have
Yeah.
a digital version already.
Oh, you already have the digital,
Yeah.
so that's free.
I don't even feel bad. That's how
Yeah.
much I enjoy the Need for Speed games.
That's
Like I don't
awesome.
even care. Like it was. I probably only spent $10 on it, and it was entirely worth it.
Yeah, and I think the
I've
In fact-
that. I'll be honest though. Payback's the one I've played the least thus far. I played the first one on the PS4 was just phenomenal. I thought I really loved that game. Rivals, I played the shit out of. Loved Rivals. I'll continue to play Rivals. Like I'm not uninstalling that by any measure. And I have to admit, I'm loving Heat as well. Vampire is the other?
Vampire.
Vampire.
Vampire. That is also for free.
That's groovy. That's
Yeah.
good for Halloween too. That's cool.
Yeah, that's actually a good one for October. And I heard this game, without even looking at this, I heard this game was a underrated game where it didn't make as much money, but it was a very interesting game.
Okay.
So I think it might
I'm
be worth a play.
Big fan of the Vampire Myth.
Yeah. Myth. It's real.
It's real. It's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't even know where to go with that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed Interview with the Vampire, the movie. So much so that I actually decided to read the books, but man,
Yeah.
I can't read Anne Rice. I just can't.
Yeah.
And the reason is not her fault. She writes like a girl, and it's the only way I can describe it.
No letters, please.
Just she does, and I couldn't. I read a couple. I read like 2 or 3, and I'm like, no more. I can't do it. If I hear her describe another chrysanthemum, I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
Jeez.
So yeah, so that's when I finally gave up on Anne Rice. But I did enjoy the. I like the vampire lore. I like the vampire story. So anyway, yeah, we know you're watching South Park. What else are you watching? Actually, I think I might even know, but
Yeah, I'm watching for some reason the Santa Clarita Diet.
yeah,
Because I needed something funny to watch.
yeah, we watched it. It wasn't bad. I mean,
It's funny. I've seen about half the first season.
I don't know if I'd recommend it to anybody, but we enjoyed it. We watched it all.
On Skinamax, that's what I call it. On Skinamax, I watched Raised by Wolves.
Okay, yeah, you
which
digging
is
that?
Ridley Scott. It's everything I like in a show. It's sci-fi. It's a real planet. Kepler 22b.
Okay, well, don't tell me. I'm gonna watch this one.
Okay,
I'm
you're gonna
afraid.
watch it. But the Charlize has even said it. She's like, why she likes the show, and she goes, I like the show because I don't know what's happening next.
Okay, nice.
So a lot of things can be predictable, and I think you're a smart guy. You just don't try to predict it. Just do yourself a favor. Just enjoy it because it's a really
it's a curse. I don't try to puzzle things out. I puzzle things out.
Yeah.
It's not a decision.
Yeah.
My brain's like, ooh, there's a thread. What happens when you pull on it?
Yeah.
And it's just it does it on its own.
Yeah, but Charlotte, we do this thing where we're like, I bet, because we like to think of her right.
Oh, entirely. Yeah.
I bet that she's going to do that and this.
Oh, entirely.
And I was wrong every time in the show.
Okay, good.
And
I
usually
like
I'm
that.
not.
Yeah.
Like Umbrella Academy, I was calling that out.
Oh, I
like
creep
crazy.
Mickles out, and
Yeah.
Mickles is good at it too. But I mean, we creep each other out sometimes because it's
Yeah.
like, how did you pull that one?
Yeah, how did you know that? Where'd you get that?
Because we're like, oh, he's actually his own father, and he shot his brother. And
Yeah.
we're like, oh my God, he is.
Yeah, I bet you that because I'm not. Sometimes I get too into shows and I don't like catch the foreshadowing, so it just blows by me. I don't think of it. I have to watch it a second time to see it.
I think that's why I'm so delighted when I am surprised.
Yeah.
Because I've already puzzled it out. That's just how my brain thinks.
Yeah.
That's why I'm fairly adept at arguing, is because any time I get into an argument, I've already had that argument 10,000 different ways.
Yes. So so you definitely have to watch that show because it's well done, and I like sci-fis. I just like sci-fis, well done sci-fis, and kind of like out there, kind of like and they drip just enough reality to say this could happen.
Dancing with Wolves, I'm on it.
Yeah, Dancing with Wolves. Yeah, yeah. Or what's that Jim Cameron movie?
Avatar?
Avatar. Yeah, which when it came out, we called that Dance with Wolves, but in space.
That's awesome.
It's
Yeah.
the exact same plot. It was the exact same plot.
Yep. I was not a fan of Avatar. In fact, I was
But
completely.
you already saw the
bummed.
movie with Kevin Costner.
Yeah. Well, and we went and saw that too in the 3D IMAX thing, and
Dance with Wolves.
No, that probably would have been better. The Avatar,
Yeah,
but and there
I
were
did.
some neat fireflies, floating around. But I was just like, wow, this movie sucks.
No, and there's 5 more coming. So
5 more Avatars.
He's already recorded like two now already.
Did somebody love that movie? I thought the movie was a flop.
It made a ton of money.
Did it really?
It did. Yeah, people did like it.
Did you like that movie?
I thought it was okay. I like Sigourney Weaver.
I don't know what I was
celebrate
expecting.
everything she's in.
I guess I was expecting, I
But
don't
she
know,
died,
more.
so I don't care anymore.
Avatar 1's the best. Once
Yeah.
you got rid of
Sigourney Weaver
I'm
herself
out.
didn't die. Her character died, just to be clear.
Yes. Yes.
be clear.
She sleeps 6 feet above her cover.
6 feet above her covers. Ghostbusters.
It's all about Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I know. Where'd the stair go? So I'm watching that, and I'm watching what's that? Ozark.
Ozark. Yeah. Boy.
A dark, great watch though. Great watch. Well done, well put together. And it's kind of the thing where they keep. I don't know. I feel like a lot of things in the show is like a moving target. You're not sure how he's gonna get out of this one every time. You know,
it's
like
brutal.
Yeah.
And it's one of those where, like, I've often said every time I think life can't get any worse, I quickly learned to lack imagination.
Yes.
It's one of those.
Yeah, it's like every episode it's like, how are you gonna get out of this one, kids? you know, it's like
Exactly.
Jesus.
Or you're just like, boy, it can't get any worse, and they're like, oh yeah, watch this, and you're like, oh, that's worse.
Yeah, that's worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, the show's interesting. So, Yeah, I need to find another lighthearted movie because I think I watch every highly rated comedy that exists,
Okay.
TV series wise. So now we got to find something else that we have to binge watch because Shameless was the last one we had trouble stopping.
Well, that's what we're on now. We're on season 10 of Shameless.
Yeah,
We realized we were that season behind you, so we're
yeah,
catching up on that. We just finished Yellowstone, and it was
yeah.
fucking phenomenal. Yellowstone is so good. But, at work today, I was on a phone call, and we were talking about a couple good shows. Have you ever seen The Wire?
I've heard of it. Was that Kevin Bacon's wife?
Actually, it might have been.
Yeah.
She's only 1 degree away.
Yeah, she's the one agreeing with Kevin Bacon. I'm
Um,
pretty sure that's Kevin Bacon's wife that's in that on The
Kira
Wire.
Sedgwick?
Yeah. Was
Boom.
that
What'd you
her?
think
Is
of
that
that?
Kirsten? Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
I don't remember if she was in that or not, to be honest with you,
I
but
don't know. I thought she
I know Kevin
was.
Bacon's wife's name, so I'm
Yeah.
calling it cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this. That show was recommended to us, and we were watching season 1, as you do. We watch
Yeah.
them in order because we're like that. And,
I don't know. Is it Idris Elba? I don't think.
actually, yeah, he was great.
I like
Um,
him. I like him.
Stringer Bell. We still call him Stringer Bell because he's that fucking good in it. But we were watching season 1, and we were probably 80, 85%, maybe even 90% through season 1. And I'm telling Mickles, this recommendation sucks. This is just a bad recommendation. This show blows. Not at all interested. I don't give two shits. And then the hooks are in you when you're not looking, and they're so freaking deep that you literally finish the rest of the seasons. And you're like, my God, I wish this was still going on. It is so good. And I do mean so good.
Oh, that's not a whole lot of seasons, huh?
No, it's not. And season 1, I'm telling you, if anybody's ever heard The Wire is good and they're watching season 1 and they can't figure out why, you need to stick with it. And I promise you, it is a work of art.
Well, I may watch it after I finish Ozark, but I can't.
Yeah, that's something to check out. I mean, it's not a happy show, but so many good actors in that, and it's just such a good show, so well done. And there's a girl in there that is just super gangster, and I actually did a little homework. I was so curious. I'm like, oh my God, she's so good.
Yep.
And she's not acting. She's just a gangster.
That's awesome.
So it's like, yep, that's how she nailed that so well. So yeah, amazing stuff. A lot of good shows out there, but again, we're just right now we're really just watching Shameless. We finished Yellowstone, so we're just kind of behind or between things right now. Just haven't gotten into some.
Well, October is a good month for us because for some reason we really like thriller horror movies, and we wait till October.
Okay.
So
nice.
I've got a bunch all queued up, ready to rock. Some I haven't seen, some I watch every year.
Did you watch The Haunting of Hill House?
Yes, the great
That
show.
was recommended to me.
Good show.
Yeah, I'm gonna want to watch that, but I can't watch it with
The second season
Nick.
hasn't started yet. I'd say that's more of a supernatural, not a horror.
Mickles believes in everything, as she describes it.
Well, I believe in half things, so I'm kind of there.
She believes in all of it. You name it, she believes in it. Ghost, absolutely. Bigfoot, absolutely. Ghost, Bigfoot,
there has
without
to
a
be.
doubt.
Oh, I agree with her. I'm on her wavelength. I believe her.
I'm telling you, I don't buy anything. I do watch ghost videos every week. Nuke's Top 5. Shout out to Nuke.
Yeah.
You fucker. You skipped a few weeks. I noticed.
Yeah.
But I watch them because it's a weird fascination I have. I have to say, though, this week's is, it wasn't that great, but it's definitely worth watching for this one reason alone. I'm so sick of ghost hunters, one, having crappy cameras.
Well, you're supposed to. That's a rule.
Yeah, it seems to be. You can only get a ghost on film if it's really low lighting, and the more pixels, the better.
Well, it has to be an old-fashioned camera too. And that's you're not supposed to use digital cameras.
Yeah, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get too clear an image.
Yeah.
But ghost hunters, inevitably, they go somewhere and they see something that, I'll be frank, and some of them I can't explain what I'm seeing. Doesn't mean I think the dead fucking came up to move that object, but
No.
They'll see something, or they'll see a face peeking up from behind a window. And so what do? They fucking bolt.
Yeah.
The whole purpose of you coming out, you're a ghost hunter.
Yeah.
So this week's, I have to admit, there's a dude, and he's looking at a building. It's middle of the night, and he sees a face peeking out, and he bolts toward it.
Oh,
And I'm like
that's
applauding.
different.
I'm like, yes,
All right,
that
you
is what
son
you
of
do.
a bitch. That's the way you do it.
I mean, if somebody making a documentary on lions was
Yeah.
like, okay, we're in the savannah, and oh, there's a lion, get the
I'm
fuck out!
outta here.
Yeah, like it just wouldn't be that good a documentary.
No, I mean it's the right instinct, but
Yes.
it's you shouldn't do that if that's your job.
But yeah, if you're afraid of ghosts, my suggestion would be don't be a ghost hunter.
Yeah. Yeah, it's trying to be like a tornado hunter while you're living in Alaska, saying there's never any tornadoes here.
I've been hunting, I just can't find shit.
Can't find anything.
It's awesome. But I gotta. One of these days, I'm gonna go like to a haunted mansion or something because I'm telling you, I don't buy it. And I know it creeps you out, and I'd be creeped out. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
The only ones I've seen, there's some cemetery in Florida. I'm gonna have to look this shit up.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, the videos that come out of there. Even I'm like, oh, yeah, you got me. And that one might be the dead. I don't know.
Thing is, I've had an experience, so I believe it.
Yep, I know you have.
I told you.
I believe you had an experience.
I did.
I believe that. I'm not doubting that for a minute.
People did die in the building I was in.
I believe
know
that.
That is absolutely true.
I believe that. Just numbers game here.
Yeah.
How many of us have there been? Like, seriously, you can't walk 10 feet without walking over a dead body, I don't think, at this point.
This is true. What was that? Of all the dead bodies stood up at once, we'd have a population problem. Well,
Yeah.
I think I was in a movie once.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, there would be an issue there.
Yeah. But, if this is different, though, because, they're related to Charlize's family. They know exactly who the people were that died in this place.
I would sooner believe
and they turned on the faucet.
Yeah, I know. That one.
They turned on the faucet.
If all I can do when I'm dead is turn on the faucet. Oh, my God.
Hey, maybe they just really wanted to wash their hands.
Maybe they're thirsty. I don't know. But
it wasn't even raining out.
It's I would sooner believe you did it with your mind than the dead came back to turn on that faucet. Because I believe if you, I'm a believer in mind over matter, and I typically don't believe much.
Yeah.
But I believe if you see a ghost, you see a ghost.
Yeah.
I don't believe there's a fucking ghost there. There's a distinction.
Well, yes, but when I turned off the water, he didn't appreciate it. This ghost.
So what did he do?
He hit
Brush
me.
his teeth?
No, he hit me.
Okay.
He ran the shoulder, just grabbed me like that, really hard on my right shoulder.
And then what'd you do?
I stepped back and I stopped touching the faucet, and I left the room.
And so how long did the water stay on?
Until Charlize came home and I made her do it.
That's fantastic.
Actually, make her kill all the bugs in the house too, just so you know.
That is awesome. So if I have a ghost in my house, I should call Charlize?
Yes, not me.
Okay.
I do nothing. No.
Good to know. Yeah, Mickles, it'll be easy in my case. Mickles is like, yeah, we're moving right now.
Yeah, we're moving.
Don't worry about anything. No, we're just, we'll buy new stuff.
Yeah. After watching Poltergeist as a child, I didn't even want a TV in the house.
I'm of the belief that the dead have no dominion over the living. That, for one. And I just don't buy it. I do not believe that dead people have nothing better to do. Maybe it's just wishful thinking, but goddamn, if all I can do is open drawers and turn on your water, I mean, you might as well just leave the water on.
Well, maybe it could be like Beetlejuice. They haven't got the handbook yet, and they haven't really learned it.
Well, I'm telling you right now, if I die before you, just leave the water on.
Just leave the water on.
Don't do yourself a favor. Don't even bother.
Yeah.
Because I'm just going to turn it right back on again if that's all I have to do.
If you haunted me, it would be a nightmare. You would do things just to mess with me on purpose, like for an eternity.
Yeah, it'd be my job at that point.
It'd be like a fun haunt for you.
You know how I take my job seriously.
Yeah.
At that point, if I were a ghost, then all I could do is open drawers and turn on faucets. Yeah.
You would. You'd be like, oh, he's going to love this one.
Yeah, it's just...
I'm going to stack all these chairs up on the table.
I try to do whatever it is I do. I try to do it well. Yeah. I put my heart into it.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That's awesome. So, there's your moral lesson for today's show is if I die before you and the water faucet just comes on, just leave it running.
On, yeah. Otherwise, you're going to punch me. I got it.
It's awesome. No, that's if Russ goes before you.
Oh, Russ, yeah. That's son of a bitch.
I think that's just going to be a recurring bit. I love it. Although that story was entirely true.
And just to be clear, that wasn't the one other thing.
That was not the one other thing. My God. So, anyway, anything else TV-wise talk about?
Nope. That's it.
All right. Well, I know this is going to be a huge section. So before we even get into that, I want to get into a few things about the whole listening and all that. But before we get into that, Kevin, we kind of only half did it.
Half.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask, especially if I'm new, and I want to contact us for any reason, hopefully to say, man, you guys are awesome, or suggestions, or hey, Sean, why don't you look at the camera, or please, for the love of God, stop. Whatever it
Please
is you have to say,
stop.
how would they go about saying that? How would they contact us? How would we learn about it?
Easy. Head on over to tootcast.net, the website. You see many links across the top of the screen, which you can see it now as well.
Yep.
So there's links to various spots on the internet that where our stuff is located. The YouTube site, our Twitter, our emails listed there. Everything you possibly would want is on that page.
Yep.
I did have one listener make fun of having a links page. I'm not going to say her name, Haley. Said
That's
that
awesome.
a links page is something out of the 90s, but people were asking where the stuff was, so I created a links page.
What are you supposed to do?
Yeah, what else? Just I guess supposed to have icons or just mind meld. I wasn't sure. She didn't really give any suggestions.
I like the mind meld option.
mind
We're going to
meld.
get to that one soon.
Yeah, so definitely emails at tootcast.net. You can see that on the screen if you're a YouTuber. Otherwise, that's one way to give your suggestions, your thoughts, your ideas.
Absolutely, that's the best way actually. Is
Yeah.
email. There's a bunch of ways to contact us, and again,
Yeah.
tootcast.net will get you there. But I'd say emails are best. We certainly read them. We certainly respond
Yep.
to them. So and again, we certainly receive them. So on that note, actually, I'd just like to give a shout out to Bill because he sent us a very nice email.
Yes, thank you,
And
Bill.
thank you, Bill. Glad to hear you liking the show, and we're loving it. Glad to have you part of the family. And again, we want to hear from everybody. So if you have anything at all to say to us, please do. And likewise, please keep those thumbs up, those subscribes, those likes, especially those shares. Keep those coming. We can't thank you enough. We love you for it. So
Yes. Yeah, and if you can, like and subscribe as much as you can the YouTube page, and that'll keep growing because YouTube doesn't like you if you only have a handful of subscribers.
yep.
So yeah, the more the better, and comments, and just if you're on the podcast side of it, just listening to a show supports us.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
that's extremely helpful.
Yeah, and we talked about it a little bit, and I'm not shy, so I'm going to talk about it on air. My understanding, or current understanding of YouTube is, if this came up in conversation right before the show, if there's profanity involved, then you cannot monetize.
Nope.
And if I'm on the show, there's profanity.
There's going to be
That's a given.
yes.
The only other way is to cut my mic. So, that's interesting. So again, there's a lot of revenue streams for other shows that we're just not even humoring.
No.
We're just not even going there. Not that this is a money making venture, but that's why those thumbs up, those subscribes, again, those shares are so important to us.
Yeah, that will help us more than anything else right
Exactly. Exactly. So
Thank
thank you. All right. Well, you said you have a lot of music written down. I kind of want to start with you because I'll ramble forever.
now. iPad.
So So what are you listening to? What music recommendations do you have? You said you're going crazy with it. I can't wait.
Oh man, it crashed. I'm kidding. It's an Apple device.
That's pretty cute. That was nice. I like that.
Nerd joke. So I was, this past week, and I think in past weeks prior, I do listen to random music. I just never think of it or write it down.
Yeah.
And when we get in the show, I just get to I don't know. I listen to a couple things.
Actually, I will admit the musical recommendations I've been making on the show, for a couple shows, it's been you've seen it.
Yeah.
Like 10 minutes before the show, I'm just going through my music library thinking, oh yeah, this would be a good recommendation. Today's list was actually compiled over a couple days.
Oh, all right. So this was compiled just this morning.
Okay. But it sounds like it was, again, not from it was from a couple days.
So these aren't suggestions that I'm making because I feel like they're suggestions. These are actually songs I've listened to today.
Oh,
So this is today's
Today?
listen today. This is all today.
Wow.
I was working.
Sounds it.
Shh. I was working most of the day.
No, I listen to music while I work. I really
yes.
do.
Oh yeah, it does help. It helps. So this is what I listened to today. So this is actually my playlist of the day. I start my day with a band called The Talking Heads.
Nice.
So I was listening to Burning Down the House,
Okay.
followed by Once in a Lifetime.
That's fantastic.
Hello.
How did you come across this? Was this on the radio in somewhere, or did you just say, you know what, I'm starting my day with Talking Heads? I need some David
knew
Byrne
of the
in the morning.
song David Byrne. I think I may have half knew above him during my lifetime, but I didn't really know of the Talking Heads growing up. I think there was some Saturday Night Live thing that he went on and did this thing, and I'm like, what's he doing? I was like, what's he doing? I was like, I got to learn more about this guy. So I think that's when I became interested. So
Okay.
this wasn't until like a year ago that I'm like, who the hell is he Talking Heads? And I'm like, I've heard some of these songs. I just didn't know they're the Talking Heads.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I have to top it off. So those are the Burning Down the House and Once in a Lifetime. I think they're very good snippets of early '80s. I think they actually
Once in
came
a
out in
Lifetime
1980.
is so good.
Great song, great lines. Yeah, I don't know. There's some, yeah, I do love it. I do love the song. I think it's great.
Talking Heads and yeah, just massively. I mean, I wouldn't say they're underrated. People like Talking Heads, but I mean, they're super talented. David Byrne is holy shit good.
But so I like those songs. I like them a lot. But I would top off all those songs with Psycho Killer.
Okay. Yep.
Because that is just that is like because it has the punk in it.
Yeah.
The extra, so it's a little bit. It came in '77. So it had a little bit less of the 80s-ish knit to it. You know, there's 80s. You can tell it's an 80s song just by hearing it. And Psycho Killer was more of a punk song. So it had that cool, song, and it had that French phrase in it that Charlize knows off the top of her head.
Je ne sais quoi? I have no idea.
Oh, the
that was actually kind of a double entendre.
Yeah,
you know what je ne sais quoi means?
Je ne sais quoi? No.
Means I don't know what.
There is French lyrics in the middle of the song.
Menage a trois is my other French.
Case, whatever. I mean,
Que sera, sera?
Yeah, it's not that, but Cusete, stuff like that.
I don't actually.
Yeah, it's a middle song, but Charlie
I took like
knows
3 years
like,
of French, and I speak more Spanish.
I think it
so
means what is it or something like that. Yeah, so it's
How did I get here?
Yeah, how did I get there? Yeah, I know. How did I get there? So once I listened to Talking Heads, then I went down the rabbit hole and I went and listened to Blondie, Heart of Glass.
Okay. But shout out to Deborah Harry and Blondie. Yeah. Mad props.
So I hit that. And then I felt like some prog rock. And I know we spoke one time about Genesis. And I decided to kind of come up with a song that, if you are not familiar with Genesis, with Peter Gabriel as the lead singer, and again,
I'm really not, actually.
Yeah, Phil Collins, great drummer. He did do backing vocals in the early days. But if you want to hear a song that says, hey, this is a good Genesis representation of a Genesis song, it's the Firth of Fifth. Great song. Prog song, though. Starts with a beautiful piano intro that goes on for like a couple minutes. But it's a prog song, so so what you hear in the first 2 minutes doesn't necessarily mean that's what you're going to hear in the last 2 minutes. It's progressive.
Okay.
So, and if you do like that at all, then you should listen to the album that came from, which is the album is called Selling England by the Pound.
Okay.
Which is a great title.
Yeah, it is.
It really is.
Yeah, because once again, we love the double entendre.
Yes.
Play on words there.
Yeah, there's a play on words. Great album. So then I listened to that, and then I followed it up by listening to Moon Age Daydream by David Bowie. Great song. Great song.
I don't know it off the top of my head, but I bet it probably would if I heard it.
I bet you know it.
Yeah.
I bet you know it because it was a decent hit off the album Ziggy Stardust, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust.
Okay. Yeah, I can almost guarantee I know it. I just can't think of it without hearing it.
So, and if you like that song, I recommend it's a concept album. So I recommend you just listen to the entire album of The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust. One of the earliest songs I've ever heard.
Definitely love Bowie, and Bowie, I have to admit, shamefully, I don't listen to enough Bowie.
His early stuff I like better than his newer stuff. He did do some 80s stuff that were really popular, like Fame, and they're not my favorite stuff, but I can see why people like it.
I still like it, though. Yeah, it's good. No, I love Young Americans.
Yeah, Young Americans. Yeah, so that was like the middle era but I like the punk era more. I just do. The whole Ziggy Stardust.
Oh, yeah,
era,
I love that. Oh, yeah, you got to love that.
There's a raw punk sound to it that I really enjoyed. And I know that John Lennon co-wrote Fame with him. So
nice.
That I do know, because they were good friends, actually.
Okay.
Then I followed it up, and then I watched this music video. And I shared it with Charlize, and I'm like, and I said something about this music video, and I actually said this, I'm like, just watch this video. This is better than the freaking actual studio album. Because this video, it really looks like these people are fighting on stage, singing to each other. And then I went in the comments, and somebody wrote in the comments, I feel like I'm watching my parents fight in the kitchen. And this song was from 1982.
I think it's Cyndi Lauper, but where are we going?
It was a live performance, the LA Mirage Tour. by Fleetwood Mac
Okay.
singing the Chain.
Oh, I fucking love the Chain.
Oh my God, you have to watch the LA Mirage Tour from 1982 on YouTube. They are fighting on stage, literally, and everyone notices.
Nice.
And you know what? It's the best version. And Charlie's, when I showed Charlie today that video, she's like, "That's what I like about the old music. They had passion."
Oh yeah.
She loved it.
Time put a spell on you that you won't forget me. God, the fucking cuts. That one hurts.
Jesus.
It's so good.
But you can see Lindsey Buckingham when he's looking at her. He's yelling the song at her.
It's so funny that you call that on Fleetwood Mac because I know we
Yeah.
haven't talked about them and they're not
Yeah.
on today's list, but
Yeah.
holy props and a half to
I do.
Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
Christine McVie, man, just mad props
Yeah.
because, I mean, not for nothing, Stevie, I love you, but
Yeah.
seriously, I just feel like your existence entirely wronged Christine
Yeah.
McVie.
Yeah. But yeah, in this video, you can see that she's the one sitting in the kitchen watching her parents fight.
Okay, yep.
So it was, I'm telling you, great video.
Well, it's funny
Great
because
video.
I came across a few, I'll get into why, but I came across a few Fleetwood
Yep.
Mac songs recently, and I heard Dreams this week, and it's been a while since I heard Dreams. And
Yeah.
it's so good. It's
Great song.
so good.
So if you like The Chain, I've been doing this too, where you like The Chain, then you might as well finish listening to the entire Rumors album, which came out 4 years earlier.
You should just, seriously, if you're unfamiliar with Fleetwood Mac, you should listen to Fleetwood Mac. And I mean, it's so cliche, but if you somehow are on this earth and you don't know Fleetwood Mac, start with Landslide because Landslide, holy shit.
Oh, that's hard for me to watch because we used it like for a funeral song one time, and it's like, man, that hits you hard.
Yeah, that's rough.
I know.
That's rough.
I know. So every time I hear that song, it depresses the hell out of me.
It was kind of going to do that anyway,
yeah.
but boy, for a funeral song.
Yeah,
I suppose
yeah,
you
it
could do
was
worse.
tough.
Actually,
Yeah.
you could do worse.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do bagpipes for my funeral because I fucking hate them.
Oh, yeah. Jesus God.
But no, I'm kidding.
Oh, so to be clear, if people who don't know, the Rumors album was a tough album for Fleetwood Mac because apparently everybody was sleeping with everybody, and
yeah.
they were all broken up by the by the time the album came out. So it was very like, I don't know, it's like a breakup album.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah,
it
I
was-
like their '80s album, Tango in the Night, was kind of super cheesy, and I love it. That's got like Little
like
Eyes
cheese?
and I love cheese. Well, believe me, we're gonna get to that.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Yeah, yeah. Once again, not shy, just holding my head. So what else you got? Yeah, Fleetwood Mac. That's great.
so-
The Chain.
and then
I'm
one-
gonna look that version up too, dude.
Yeah, definitely worth.
LA Mirage Tour. What did you say? 82.
1982. Yep, live in L.A.
Okay, I will check that out.
Awesome. Yeah, Lindsey Buckingham, which he's now been ejected out of the band finally after all these years. So he's not part of the band anymore. They had a one last fight. And-
Yeah, I mean that's a fancy way of saying Fleetwood Mac's not Fleetwood Mac anymore.
No, they're not. You need Lindsey Buckingham, in my opinion. And in this video, I didn't realize how much a good guitar player he was.
Oh
He
God,
was-
that's dude's like.
Oh, my God,
he's one of those
maestro.
like uber talented.
Yeah.
Like it's creepy.
Yeah, great. So no, fun video to watch, and it's worth watching every second of it. Plus, it's a live version, so they even have like an intro that's different than the studio. So just good all around. Much better than the studio.
Was it just a fool? God damn, she's so good though.
And the last one is, I just want to point out, there is I may have pointed out this band to you, but this band and this song I pointed out, I think, to you a while ago, and then I watched Umbrella Academy, an entire scene unfolded to this song, and I go, Charlize, do you remember this? Because I showed it to you like a year ago, and it's a band called The Dead South. And they're from Regina, Saskatchewan. Or was it Regina? I forget what part. I think it is Regina,
The
Saskatchewan.
dude has a unique voice.
Yeah, I'll be in hell. I'll be in good company.
Yeah, and hell, I'll be in good company.
And I like the song. I've always liked the song. But then they played it in, the Umbrella Academy during some big like death scene.
That's like not a shtick either. That's the way that dude sounds, that lead singer. And
Yeah.
I gotta admit, the back vocals from that other
Yeah.
guy, I dig it. I mean, it's not, their sound is a bit too much for me. It's like I walk that hillbilly line, but it gets real close to country sometimes. They cross over into it, but yeah, that's a good song. That is fun.
They have other songs that are good as well. That's not their only good song.
The video of that song is entirely worth checking out, though, because it's hysterical, and I give them mad props for it.
Yeah, it's a good video, but I think it really enhanced the scene in Umbrella Academy. I don't know if it's the last episode of the second season or the second last episode. It's near the end during a big dramatic fight sequence where people are being hacked and slacked, and I'm like, that's awesome. In hell, I'll be in good company.
Yep.
I'm like, that just on the nose and perfect. And I love Umbrella Academy. I'll watch that.
That was good.
God, it was great. Season 2 was actually, I don't know, slightly better than the first season. I didn't think that was going to happen.
It's rare.
Yeah,
It's rare that
really-
that does happen. I would say I liked it equally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that alone makes it better. The
Yeah.
fact that I liked it equally somehow makes it better. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. So I did enjoy it. So yeah. So that was today's music for me.
Wow, you listen to a lot. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Well, again, this whole music thing's kind of gone to hell in a handbasket as far as categories go. So I'm just going to run all over the place.
Okay.
But you mentioned him earlier, so I guess this is going to fall into my heavy category, if we're doing that. And I'm just going to talk
Whatever you
about
want.
Iron Maiden. You talked, and it's funny. I literally wrote down Maiden, Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. It's just a great album.
Yeah. It's enhanced too, by the way. If you get the enhanced CD.
See, it all ties together.
Yeah.
I also love Stranger in a Strange Land. If I had to
Yep.
pick, actually, those are my two favorite Maiden albums, without a doubt.
Yep.
Ross, man, I'd rather you fucking punch me than you told me Maiden was a gallop, though, because that's all I hear
Yeah.
now. Dun, 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 dun.
I think my favorite album by Iron Maiden is Peace of Mind. Not
Okay.
because it's the best album. It's just I actually have the guitar tablature of it, and I learned a couple of songs.
Nice.
So I actually know how to play a couple of songs.
So you know how
off
to play
Peace
the
album.
Trooper?
Yeah.
Do you know how to play Die with Your Boots On? I
That I didn't
include
learn,
that, but that's funny.
but I have the tablature. I could probably learn it because anybody who doesn't play guitar, tablature is a cheat sheet.
Yeah.
You can learn how to play without knowing what music is. It's really not that hard.
I never wanted to learn music. I just want to learn a couple songs on a guitar, piano, triangle. I don't give a shit. I want to learn to play something.
Yeah, the Trooper is actually fun because you're like and you're like working your way up as you're. And you're
Okay.
It sounds more difficult than it is.
Okay, yeah.
You know, especially that intro.
That's awesome.
So
That was, I have some, and I knew you'd be able to chime in here, but
Yeah.
so from Seventh Son specifically, if
Yep.
I had to pick a couple songs, I'm going to go with Infinite Dreams for absolute certain, because that
Yep.
song is so good. But I'm going to throw a weird one in there and say The Evil That Men Do.
Oh,
I love that
goes
song.
on and on. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know that.
I
See, I know that album. I
Love
know
that
it.
song.
Yep. The
So,
evil,
uh,
the evil.
One of my favorite Maiden songs, without a doubt, always
Yeah.
has been, even before Seventh Son came out, was Loneliness of the Long Distance Runner. It's off Stranger in a Strange Land. It's just a great song. But some other mentions would be The Trooper, of course. 2 Minutes to Midnight, always love that song. And Wasted Years is just phenomenal.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
In fact,
A little more slow. Yeah, I like that one.
I think it was Ryan Adams. Because seriously, Ryan Adams.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a dude.
Yeah.
He did a cover of Wasted Years. And
Oh.
it blew my mind because it was at the end of a show.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing this song, and I'm like, what is this? And I know the words, and I have no idea
Yeah,
what it was.
what
I
is
couldn't
this?
place it. I couldn't get there. And they
Yeah.
cut it before they got to the bridge. And I'm like, oh, my God. So I had to go and look it up because I'm like, oh, that's like a splinter in my brain. I need it out.
Jerk. Yeah.
And I never would have gotten there.
Yeah.
Even though I knew the words, I would never gotten to Maiden because it was acoustic. You know,
Yeah.
it was so different.
Yeah.
But yeah, love Maiden. Also wanted to mention Maiden is frontman Bruce Dickinson, who's just
Who wrote a kid's book, by the way?
amazing. I was about to say he's an amazing individual. The
Yeah.
dude's a fencer. He flies planes.
Yeah.
He's just the dude's awesome.
Yeah, and I liked his solo career as well.
Exactly where I was going. Tattooed Millionaire was his debut album.
And it was the best one.
It was so cool too
Yeah.
because I'm with
Yeah.
a friend. We're listening to the radio because we're fucking old people. Yeah,
Yeah.
we used to do that.
The radio.
And this new song comes on, and my friend's like, "Oh my God, a new Maiden song!" And I
Yeah.
said, "No." And he's
No.
like, "What do you mean? That's clearly Maiden." I'm like, "No, that's not Maiden."
There's
I'm
no
like,
gallop.
That's Bruce Dickinson.
Yeah.
But that's not Maiden.
Yes.
And sure enough, at the end of it, they're like, "Oh, that's from Bruce Dickinson's new album, Tattooed Millionaire." I'm like, "See, I told you."
Yeah.
But my friend was blown away. But I'm pretty certain the year was '58. But there's a song "Born in '58" on there, and I
Oh,
fucking
I'm not
love
sure I
that
know
song.
that. There's a dragon song on there that I.
Yeah, I almost want to say "Dragon Tears" or "Tears of the Dragon."
Tears
or
of the
something.
Dragon. Yeah, I think that's the song I think it was the big hit off that album.
But yeah, in "Tattooed Millionaire," the title track was good. But definitely talented individual. Which two things on that actually. One is, I want to talk about name origins for a second here. I know we're going down a rabbit hole, but like the Smiths.
Yeah.
If you go far enough in their family history, genealogy, somewhere there was a smith. There was an actual blacksmith, like gardeners. If you dig back far enough,
Actually, I got Smith in my family.
presumably somebody actually had the vocation of a gardener.
Yeah, yeah.
Names mean something typically. DeLuca, for example, means I'm from the town of Luca.
Yeah.
Like you have something. So
Yeah, and my last name, it means I don't know what to call you when you came to Ellis Island.
that's awesome. Yeah. Well, I don't even want to get into the Dickinsons.
Yeah. Oh.
We're not going there. But moving on, I do want to talk about what makes me say something like Maiden is awesome. And then, earlier we weren't talking about on the show, but I'm going to might as well get to this conversation now. There's this band that used to exist called Metallica, and they were really good.
Yeah, they died in a tragic bus accident.
Every
right?
one of the fuckers right after the Injustice album. I love that band. I love that band so much.
Yeah.
Kill 'Em All was just amazing.
Yeah.
Master, Ride the Lightning, and Justice for All. Just
Yeah.
amazing pieces of work. I loved everything about them.
And Orion is one of my favorite songs, and that was supposed to be. That was Cliff's like, this is my song. He's like, I'm gonna make the song. He's the one who invented how that sounds.
Cliff would be so pissed, in my opinion, if he were alive today. But what do I know? But all I know is this is a band I grew up with that I loved. That was anti-everything. We're never selling out. Yeah. And I knew it the fucking day the one video came out.
Oh yeah, because
and I'm like, you motherfuckers.
I had MTV for like a week, and I'm like, oh boy.
I heard they're making a video, and I'm like, you motherfuckers. And that was it. That's the day they all died.
Yeah.
Because basically they were like, and this is why I hate this band so much now. Their early stuff, their first 4 albums were phenomenal. I highly recommend all of them. Like in front to back, they're great. And then after that, I say you burn the shit. You never even go near it because those fuckers were anti-sellout until one day, and I get it, but one day they said, that's a lot of money.
I know. And they only became popular because of all the pirated cassettes people were giving to each other.
Which leads me to two things, actually. See, this all does tie together. Believe it or not, this rabbit hole makes sense.
Yes.
So this is why I'd like to say with all official capacity, fuck you, Lars Ulrich. And what I mean by that is fuck you, Lars. I just want to be clear about that.
Yeah.
When Napster was a thing, first of all,
we're old. We know I was there for Napster.
Remember your roots, Metallica. You had nothing. You became something. That's why we loved you.
Yeah.
Because you know what it's like to have nothing. Yeah. And I understand why you went for the money, but really it was a big disappointment to all your fans because you always kind of swore you never would, and then you just betrayed every one of us. Yeah. But Lars going on his high horse about how, hey, you kids are stealing our profits, blah, 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 blah. One, fuck you, Lars. I just want to emphasize that. Yeah. But
in case you're not sure.
You just really, you forgot where you came from. And I'm not saying it's all right to steal copyrighted material, but at the same token, you forgot where you came from. Yeah. Had the generations been different, you bet your ass you would have been pirating every one of those bands you like. You would have been downloading the Misfits just like that kid was downloading your crappy song. And worse yet, maybe your video. And I hope they didn't because, God, that sucked. The Metallica movie that was a 2-hour video.
Oh, I never saw it.
Yeah, save yourself the trouble. It sucked.
Oh, I didn't know it existed. Thank God.
But then you take a band like Maiden.
Yeah.
And Maiden, aside from being awesome, they are the antithesis of Metallica because they're cool. So what does Maiden do? Maiden says, let's pay somebody to find the data on who's downloading all our songs. And they did that. And they got a report that, okay, these are the parts of the world that are downloading all your music the most. They said, great. That's our tour schedule. And then they based their tour on where they were the most popular.
That seems like the smart thing to do because that's where the money is anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. And all they had to do was work with the system and just kind of remember your roots. Yeah. The kid that's downloading your album probably can't afford to go buy your album. Yeah. And again, it's that betrayal of your fans. Honestly, you would be uber rich without having done that. Yeah. You really would be. But you had to go that route, and that's why. And, Lars, you're especially bad because you really kind of rubbed everybody's nose in it. And again, not to mention, you came from money to begin with, Lars. I know your story. But, it's... You just completely turned your back on your fans, in my opinion. And that's why, once again, just for emphasis, fuck you, Lars.
Yeah.
So...
It's a shame, too, because he was a great drummer.
Such a good drummer. It's a shame.
Double bass. He can handle his double bass.
Unlike anybody else. Yep. Unlike anybody else. And I mean, it's a shame they all died right after Injustice. Yeah. Because they would have been a good band. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's why I think a band like Maiden is cool and why I think Metallica all died. Yep.
And to be honest with you, I can listen to Iron Maiden's discography, and I think they have a better discography if you put all their albums together. There's more to listen to, more to get into with Maiden than there is Metallica.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's actually a better adventure if you're going to sit down and listen to Maiden.
Well, part of what made Metallica so great to me was the fact that they had nothing. Yeah. That was part of their appeal. I root for the underdog. Yeah. And again, I understand going for the money. But at the same token, when your whole principle is we're not going to sell out, we're not sellouts, and then it's just a betrayal, is what it is.
It's called in the biz we call that a dick move.
And pretty much, that is a dick move. Yeah, I concur. So if that ever comes up again, and I'm sure it will, but now everyone will know why I'm saying fuck you, Lars, because I will say that again and again and again.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
One hit wonder.
One hit wonder.
It's a song actually that it's funny because I don't even know if you'll know the name of the song or this will mean anything to you, but you like the song. And I know you like the song because it would come up on one of my stations every now and again and you'd be like, huh, I like this. And that happened numerous times until I'm like, dude, you just like this song because you comment to me every time it comes up.
Yeah.
But it's a band called The Tribes and a song called We Were Children. And unfortunately we can't play any of it, but it's definitely something worth checking out, and and whoever you are out there, somebody from the Tribes is like, we have 9 albums and people love us. I'm sure they do. I only know the one song. I'm sorry.
Aww.
I know you're huge in Germany. I'm sorry. I just so when I say one hit wonder, I mean one hit that I'm aware of. That's all it means.
That's awesome.
But moving on. So I don't know where you put this band, so I'm going to say, I'm just going to talk about them because I know you can talk about them too, but I can't recommend music without eventually talking about Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh, yeah.
Billy Corgan and that.
I celebrate Billy Corgan, and I've seen a ton of his videos of just going by himself or maybe with one other guy on the Howard Stern show and just strumming along, and I'm like, perfection. This guy can do his skill. He has a skill.
He is a writer for certain, and that's what appealed to me right off the rip. I prefer their earlier stuff, I won't lie.
Yeah.
Gish, Pisces is Carrot. I don't know how you say that. And then, of course, their fucking opus. I mean, Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness.
Yeah. Genius stuff.
Just amazing.
But even I would say even now he sounds, and it's one of the few. It's rare when you have somebody that kind of still sounds like he did, back in the early '90s. He still sounds like that now.
Yeah.
He's
a very distinctive sound too. Yeah. I mean, you don't ever sit there and wonder, who did this one?
And he's also very interesting because he has a lot to say about the music industry, and he calls it as he sees it. I think and he knows that there's a point in his life where he was a jerk.
Yeah.
And he actually has come to terms with that and say, I apologize. They kind of want you to be like that. They want you to have the attitude in the music industry, all your record labels.
Well, I got to say, I think that applies to the vast majority of us. And I'll take it a step further. There's probably fair odds there was a time in your life where you were a complete douche. It may even be now. That being said, and I didn't mean you specifically. I'm including myself in this mix. This goes for all of us. That's the beauty of this. It's funny, actually.
Yeah.
Tangential for sure. I think one of the things we love about video games is that when things go too bad, you just hit the reset button.
Yeah.
And this is going to be sappy as fuck, so please try not to cry on me, buddy. But basically, coming back tomorrow and trying again, that's our reset button, folks.
Yeah.
So maybe you are a douchebag right now. Maybe you were a douchebag last week. You know what? Tomorrow's another chance to try again. And please, try not to be a douchebag.
Yeah.
Don't be a dick. You don't need to be.
Yeah.
And that's just it.
It's not what you do when you're having a good day. It's what you do when you're having a bad day.
Without a doubt. Yeah. And people believe me, I'm a nervous wreck. I'm so neurotic, it's insane, especially when it comes to work. I'm a mess. I'm so concerned about doing a good job that I just, it's hellacious being me. It really is. It's just, the stress, the nerves of it, it's awful. But the reality is, when I see someone make a mistake, I don't judge them on the mistake they made. I judge them on how they pick themselves up. Yeah. We all fall down. It's what you do afterwards. Did they own it? Did they step up? Like when I fuck up, I'm not proud, but I own it. I step up. I'm like, yep, that was me. I'm sorry. This is, what can we do to fix it? Or this is what I'm doing to fix it. How do I make amends? That's all you can do. And does it suck that you fucked up? Absolutely. But you know what? Tomorrow you get to try again.
Yep.
So, not to be too sappy. And actually, music's my life, folks. I hit people with song quotes. So, one of them, don't waste your breath to save your face when you've done your best. It's The Dead.
Oh.
Built to last. It's just, it's how I feel about it. If you've done your best, there's nothing to apologize for.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't enough, but there's nothing to apologize for. You've done your best. But anyway, we're talking about Pumpkins. So I don't even know how to recommend Pumpkins other than to say, seriously, just go listen to Melancholy and Infinite Sadness. It's 2 discs. It's worth a listen to at least once. I mean, it's great. I only wrote 3 songs down though. Disarm, I felt compelled to write
Yeah, that's a good song.
because you got to write it.
Yeah.
Today is actually what hooked me. I love Today.
Today is the greatest day I've ever known.
It's
Yeah.
just such a good song.
You ever seen the music video?
Absolutely.
It just, yeah, the music video goes with it very well too.
Yeah,
It
and that's
just-
when I was drinking too. So
Yeah.
believe me, it was the greatest fucking day.
Yeah.
I can't say I drank professionally, because I didn't do anything other than drink. But I was drunk for a couple years of my life, and I enjoyed it. But then I
Yeah.
had to become responsible. But Bodies is a song off of Melancholy that
Yeah.
I'm thrilled with. I love that song. It's a high energy song, and it's a play on word because the name of the song is Bodies, as in like dead bodies.
Oh.
But the lyrics are Nobody's ever felt like you. And it's not nobody, it's no bodies.
Oh.
It's,
Mm.
that's also got the line love is suicide, which is nice. It's like, wow, you're just bitter.
Yeah.
You're just bitter and angry. And
Yeah.
when you're bitter and angry, that's kind of what you want to hear.
Yeah. 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 That's what I'm saying. That some songs fit the right mood.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. So, any songs you want to recommend from Pumpkins? Because again, I know you're a huge Pumpkins fan.
Me, I never remember names. of
Mickles doesn't
songs.
either, so
Yeah.
don't even worry about it. But
Yeah.
you might have some to mention actually on the next band
Yeah,
anyway.
might.
Classic rock wise, I thought it was time we talk about the Guess Who.
The Guess Who, the Canadian band,
That's right.
American Woman. Stay
Exactly.
away from me.
American Woman's a good one. Definitely huge fan of the Guess Who, and they uber talented band.
Yeah.
And for anybody like me that did not know this, if you're ever wondering what the hell became of the Guess Who, because
Yeah.
it kind of did,
Yeah.
Bachman Turner Overdrive is basically what became of the Guess Who.
Yeah.
But These Eyes, of course.
These eyes are smiling.
They're crying actually. Your
Oh,
eyes don't smile.
They're smiling.
Yeah,
These eyes
they're
are
smiling
crying.
because it's raining in Africa.
It's raining in Africa. Always lyrics wrong with me.
That's awesome.
That's what I heard, I swear.
I'm sure that.
Yeah. What's the other one they did? They did No Sugar in My Coffee,
No
Sugar in
Sugar
My Tea.
Tonight, New
Yeah.
Mother Nature. Yep.
Yeah, New Mother Nature's taking over, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So I
Yep.
got that one right.
No Time is another one.
Oh,
no
ain't no
time
time
left for you.
That's actually they had 2 lead singers, and there was actually 2 songs that were too short. They were
Oh,
like
you're
a-
talking about the No Sugar Tonight and the New Mother Nature.
Yeah. That was actually 2 songs too short, and it was actually they're like a minute and a half each, so they had to make it one song.
Yeah.
And it's actually a different person singing in each one.
That's a great song though.
Yeah.
My personal favorite though, without a doubt,
Yeah.
is Share the Land.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love that song, specifically the end when he's just talking about everybody walking by the river now.
Yeah. Yeah, those are all those. I like all those. I know each one of those. I know all
Smiling,
of them.
laughing, they're
Yeah.
digging each other.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. It's just so good.
I do like the Guess Who. Yeah.
So yeah, definitely a good band. That's classic rock all the live long day.
And I guarantee many of you probably had it on 8-track.
It's possible, yeah.
Yes, they're that old.
A really good band though.
Yeah.
And then I am saddened to admit this because I couldn't tell you why, but I've got that crappy 80s love songs station on my Pandora. I seriously do. No shit.
He makes us listen to it once in a while.
I don't think I've ever made you listen to
I
it.
thought we have in a road trip one time. I thought you
Did I?
I think you did.
I do
on a road
torment
trip,
people with
yeah.
music, but
Yeah.
typically I'd hit you with like indie folk and shit like
Yeah.
that. But it was not my Suicide Radio though. For years of my life, I listened to Suicide Radio. For those of you just joining us, I know I'm inappropriate. I'm going to hell. We got that. But Suicide Radio is basically you can kill yourself to any song, and it kind of makes sense. You'll be like, oh yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Like Everybody Hurts by REM. I mean, seriously, I just think there's
Yeah.
like an 80% chance I'm
Yeah.
going to do it every time I hear that song.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter what kind of mood I'm in. But I started making a station on Pandora that was more like my Suicide Radio, and I'm getting there.
Okay.
And it's making me happy that I'm getting there. And
That's a weird dichotomy there.
it's just strange. And I'm not even in a bad mood. I'm not
Yeah.
feeling sad or anything
Yeah.
like that, I swear. But somehow it's soothing. But that led me to somebody that I know and I think everybody knows. But I'll be honest, I don't listen to her enough. And I just can't recommend her enough. But, everyone's going to think Eurythmics because everybody knows Sweet Dreams. But Annie Lennox is fucking phenomenal. I mean, phenomenal. She is so good.
Yeah.
It blows my mind. Not to mention, maybe it's just me. I think she's smoking. I've always thought she was smoking. And now that I'm 45 and she's old, I still think she's smoking. It doesn't change a thing, but she is a bummer
Who
and a
am I to
half.
disagree?
Not bad. I just and we're done. That was the last episode, folks.
Yes, we're done.
That was bravo, buddy.
Sorry.
I'm impressed. I'm proud of you.
It actually was the right lyric too.
So yeah,
I'm just as
you
shocked.
nailed it. You nailed it. So yeah, and I understand she's poppy, and
Yeah.
yes, I heard that she did a Bob Marley cover, and I mean, yeah, good on you. But yeah, it took me a moment. I'm like, why do I know the words to this? I'm
Yeah.
like, oh no, honey, I love you, but you don't touch Bob.
I vaguely remember one of her solo songs that she was like dancing around in a dress. I forget what it was.
Well, the Broken Glass was one
Oh,
of her
I think
hits.
that was it.
Yeah, and I love
I
that
think she was
song.
singing around. She was just dancing on a dress.
No More I Love Yous was it gives you an idea what you're in for. Like,
Yeah.
No More I Love You. Is this going to be cheery? No, probably not. No.
Yeah.
She did a song called Why, which is so fucking good. It blows my mind. The lyrics to that are just soul crushing. They really are. It's devastating. But Annie Lennox, huge fan. And I just can't say enough good things about her. And I think Eurythmics, I think that was obviously good for her in a lot of ways, but in a lot of ways, I also think that somehow, while it enabled her to have that solo career, I somehow think it just Sweet Dreams was such a colossally big hit that I think it just overshadowed some of her work. But my God, what a talent! And yeah, if you're into that sappy, miserable kind of music, definitely could do a lot worse.
Got it in spades then.
Yeah, seriously though. If you're into that kind of thing, check out Why. If you haven't heard it before, it's such a good song. The lyrics are so good. So yeah, so those were my musical recommendations today. A whole shit ton, and we went down quite a few rabbit holes.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, I'm actually reading it correctly. I don't know what I did last week, guys. I swear, I thought we were at an hour and a half, and I'm like, oh, we better land our plane. And
No.
yeah, it was like just at an hour. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but
I think some people were saying an hour's good.
yeah, please stop.
Please, God.
Yeah, I was good after a minute two.
Stop.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I like the way you said one other thing, everything after that.
Yeah. Everything. Yeah.
But again, that's kind of all I had for today. Did you have more to talk about tonight, buddy?
No, I think that's it.
All right. Well, I want to say a few quick things because I'm never actually done. I think we know that by now, right? But I did want to just give Bill another shout out. Thank you for the very nice email, Bill. Really appreciate that, my man. That was awesome. And again, we want to hear from all of you. We're not going to get into it, but if we were, we would say tootcast.net. And that's about all I've got. So thank you, Kevin, and thank you, everybody out there. And with that, this is Sean.
This is Kevin.
That's the one other thing.
Good night.